Very funny point to start recording. My bad. I would like to take the time. I would like to take. Okay, start that again. I would love to take the time to welcome you. In a sense, we are stepping into a world that is very different from what you might already know. Very different from ones you might have explored previously. A world synonymous with ideas of freedom and solidarity. A world where the worst monsters are tucked into the corners of history, never again to disrupt with the order. A world that is mine and a world that is yours, should you let it be. I want everyone to hold out their hand in front of them, one of them. Sort of imagine that you're like holding like a small stone in your hand or like a small animal, maybe. Charles, don't squeeze, Jesus. I invite everyone to picture a little something I'm going to call their aura. Not that of your person, but that of whom you are going to be inhabiting for this journey. I want you to picture the color, the feel. Is it warm? Is it cold? What does it feel like? How solid is it? Is it something weighing in your hand, or is it just light, shimmering above your palm? Try and focus on the details. Sink into what you might be seeing. Maybe it's a shockingly bright indigo or a dull cream white. Maybe it's the solid steel silver of a shell, or the glistening orange of rusted armor. Perhaps the fervent blue of rough scales, or the delicate green of a skirt. Whatever that might be, it's yours to take. So when you are ready, cut your hand around it and open your eyes. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and all of my lovely friends in between and beyond, to the world of Pokemon. Our first step into this unfamiliar and yet all at the same unfamiliar and yet comforting kind of place is the fluttering of grass. Soft breeze rustling through the air, brushing by the folds of lawn beneath your feet, tickling the leaves upon trees, blowing seeds off of dandelions and petals off of flowers. A bright blue sky hanging above you, and the chill of early autumn, sending a ripple down your spine and across your arms. It is serenity. Not a serenity that goes undisturbed, but one that all the same remains special. The quiet remains only for a moment, as soon the sound of footsteps approach. Delicate ones, light ones, that of one who might move about the ground like a dancer, or someone lighter on their feet. Figures begin to emerge from the wood as a pair of taller Pokemon, about 5.5 feet, both emerge from the woods. Both of them similar in color, of this elegant white and green color palette. One Pokemon carrying a parasol covering her eyes from the sun, the other hauling a series of satchels and bags, hauling basically the entire cargo, whatever trip they might be taking. The Gardevoir peeks through the trees looks up at the sky. Well, I reckon if we keep up pace from here, we'll be arriving in remnants in about an hour, don't you think? This is a much faster trip than I expected, all things considered. Well, as long as we keep pace, the Gallade says, checking his surroundings around him, then I'm sure we'll have plenty of energy left to get the moving done, and we'll be on our way from there. Where is our daughter? The two of them both look between each other, realize that they are indeed the only two traveling amongst themselves. The Gardevoir sighs, for the love of all things arcade, and never lose her against her. Kirly! She turns around, calling through the woods as Laura. Would you do me a favor and describe where has your character wandered off to?
Uh, um, I look at flowers and observe all of the like wildlife in my new environment.
Curly, you kneel down by a nearby riverside, like listening to the soft sound of water rushing by, cupping the petals of flowers that you've never seen before, taking in the scenery around you. You catch a glimpse of yourself in the crystalline surface of the lake. Would you take a moment to describe what your character looks like?
Uh, a kirlia, but with longer hair and wearing a green dress made out of the leaf.
Curly, you take in a sight that feels comforting despite its unfamiliarity. You cup one of your hands, let water flow from through between your fingers back into the stream. But that quietude is broken after only a moment as you hear your mother, Rosalia, come up from behind you. Kylie, darling, we're so close to Remnant. We must keep our pace if we want to make it there before any real rush occurs.
Fine, but it's so exciting.
I know, darling. Come along, walk and talk. She tugs you by your arm as you are pulled to your feet. It's I understand, darling. It's very different from back at home. I truly forgot how quiet it can be in spite of some of the things I've heard about this place. It's I I don't exactly I don't exactly favor those who would have to adventure through here more that often than once, but seems we've gotten a little luckier. She says, taking in the scenery around her a little bit. Certainly a far cry from what's been occurring back home, but I'm sure you'll find comfort in it. No?
I guess. There are trees here that aren't dying, so that's nice.
Yes, dear. That is true. As your mother kind of fusses with her parasol a little bit, I can only hope that I can only hope that you find what you're looking for, darling. I know that this environment is very new. I myself have never really known such a bustling atmosphere, I suppose, but I imagine there are druids like ourselves. I can only hope that whatever you might be getting out of this, it'll prove helpful in preserving our home.
Me too.
Um, Curly, you linger behind your parents as you continue walking for a few minutes. Doesn't really feel like super long until you find yourself stopping momentarily as you feel the grass beneath your feet give way to metal and wood. You look up and look at as you see what are train tracks buried into the ground. And as you sort of tread over, you hear something in the distance. As Ramus turns, oh, that is so loud. My bad, y'all. Um, Remus turn, Remus turn, oh, Jesus. Remus turns around. Oh, Carly, watch out. Grabs you by the arm and yanks you off the tracks as you see a massive train barreling towards you from the distance of a brilliant red and orange color, very sleek, almost insectoid design. As you see, the train whizzes by you. You see tracks heading in the direction specifically of where you believe Remnant to be. As the locomotive rushes past you, you see windows flying by, thick cloud of smoke from a little chimney at the top of the very head of the car. As for a moment you think you see faces and eyes of what have to be dozens of Pokemon heading in the same direction as you. As your eyes follow the train moving in the distance, we're going to cut away. Laura, go to your meeting. You will get back when you get back. Thank you so much. Hopefully it isn't too terrible. Real. See ya.
Yeah,
Or unless you have time to stay. Go when you need to go. But
I will get going so I can get in time.
lovely. All right. Best of luck. Break a leg. We are going to move away from the fields and forests of Remnant as we find ourselves chugging along on the Sentiferno Express, a sort of railroad connection all throughout Talis that is probably the fastest way any half-minded Pokemon would be able to get from one place to another. This rumbling sound of wheels and rails beneath you fills your ears as we zoom in into one of the carts. There is chatter and hubbub within every single car. These little sort of carriages, sort of covered by glass doors, allowing Pokemon to sort of enjoy their own company with those that they are traveling with, or be by themselves, whatever they're searching for in this journey. As we find ourselves nearing the back of one of these particular carriages, in a sort of stalwart room by close to the end of the expressway. There sits a pair of shorter Pokemon, one of ornate blue fur, a little rustled and scraggly, but done up in the best that it can in order to make it seem at least a little presentable. You see the Meowstic has a beautiful purple bow tie and is carrying with him a pair of leather satchels. Pushing up his glasses, he has his gaze is fixed out towards the landscape beyond. An awestruck look in his face as you see almost half to his companion, half to himself, really. After all this time, it hasn't really changed at all. It's never fails to be as beautiful as I always remember it to be. You look out there. I believe we're going to be heading there in a little bit. You see he gestures to his shorter companion, his son, as Lowen, you pull yourself up to the window to take a peek out the window, to take a peek outside. And as you do so, catching a reflection in the window, Desmond, would you like to describe the camp for us?
Oh, yeah, well, there's not much to distinguish this minccino from other minccinos around. Just this cute little guy with big ears, a tail that kind of just glistens every so often with a little sheen to it. The most notable things on his person are I imagine they're a single strap around his shoulder where towards his hip there's a pouch, a satchel to put stuff in, is personal items, and strapped to his back is just a big old push broom, got some heft to it, that he, despite his short stature, able to kind of hold up with ease. He's just looking out, looks at his reflection, then he looks past. Looks really nice.
Well, the forest itself is a little... Well, I suppose I've told you already, the forest itself is a tad bit torn up a little bit, but that's... I suppose that's part of the charm of the guild itself. They don't fancy themselves quite lookers, necessarily.
I suppose so.
No, and how are you feeling? As you hear over the what has to be some kind of intercom, you hear,
"Hello, passengers. This is a reminder that we are about 10 minutes away from the town of Redness, so please gather all your luggage, and we'll be there shortly."
As Apollyon, your father, that's certainly a voice. How are you feeling?
I think.
Lowen?
Can I make a deception check? Not to take the first roll, but I think this is a moment.
You are welcome to make a deception check real quick. I'll roll insight for Apollyon. First roll of the game. Let's see how we do.
12.
What does Lowen say?
He's like feeling great, but really excited. Like I just can't believe that it's about to happen. And he's got like his stomachs are a little bit in knots. Like he's really trying to hold it down. So like no, he doesn't have to. These are just nerves. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Apollyon nods his head in a way where you can tell that he sees through you just a little bit, but still sympathetically, he nods his head and says, "No, it's really all right to be nervous. Listen, I was as terrified as you were when it was my time to join the guild myself all that time ago. The first day is not going to be perfect, and that is all right. What is important is you enjoy yourself, you make friends where you can, and remember that you're there for yourself, son."
Right. Of course. I really appreciate it, Dad.
From behind Apollyon, you see that Amachoke has gotten out of his little sort of section of the train. You see is sort of like trying to pull his luggage out from through the door. You see that he's got a massive like cart that's getting a little stuck.
Already like hopping up. Like maybe I can help you. Like it seems to be stuck. Like I'm like looking in to see if it's like caught in anything. Like
you skitter out of the carriage, and Apollyon's like, "Oh, Lowen, wait!" As the Machoke looks down at you. "Oh yeah, thanks, little dude. If you could just give it a little push from the other side."
Oh yep. And I'm gonna go squeeze in, however, and I'm like, okay.
You wriggle yourself into the other side and try and...
There's like it's a little bit like there's something sticking out. Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay, pull now.
I'll pull that. You see,
I'm just falling out with it.
He, with a unceremonious boom, gets his cart of luggage from out of the door. Ooh, they gotta make these doors bigger. Hey, thanks, little dude. Kneels down to give you a fist bump.
My tiny paw.
As the Machoke fights for his life trying to get the cart down the rest of the hall, the corridor, Apollyon sticks his head out from the carriage and it's very quiet. It goes, "Lowen."
I just kind of wobble over.
"It is very sweet of you to want to help these people. However, I am going to remind you, it is not your responsibility to help absolutely everyone around here. I know that was the norm back at the store, and trust me, it is very kind. Remember that you have to look out for yourself here."
Of course, I'm going to. Sorry,
it's important. Hey, Lowen, you have nothing to apologize for. You've already gotten the hard part done. Your kindness is a treasure, but don't forget to be kind to yourself. That's all I ask.
Of course. I'll do you proud.
And now, Lowen, you already have. As he ruffles your fur a little bit.
This kind of like little retreat into self.
Lowen, you as the trip kind of reaches its last couple of minutes, you're kind of just like sitting on your seat, kicking your legs that are far too high off of the floor or about going over your sides, when you feel your eyes wandering as they filter over to the carriage that's the little compartment that's directly across from you. In the one with the Machoke was just about diagonal, but the one right across from you haven't paid a whole lot of notice to it, but you see a Pokemon who looks a little probably bigger and sturdier than any Pokemon you might have seen in your entire life. You see one who is barely able to fit in the compartment itself, just based on the positioning of the seats. Kind of keeping to himself, looking out the window a little absent-mindedly, a sort of blank expression on his face, as Kylie, I would love if you could describe your character real quick.
So, Draven is very much just like your basic druddigon, but he's sort of got like a lot of sort of shallow areas along his arms and legs where he's got like bruises or like sort of like very old scars, like old wounds and type. He doesn't really have a lot on him. He's kind of just like staring at the window absentmindedly, looking out at the scenery since he's never really been here, but also it's sort of that thing of like interested enough because new thing, but not interested enough to like really think about it. So you're kind of just he doesn't really have a lot on him, but he has this thick, strapped sort of little satchel on his side that has basically just a set of some medical stuff, and sort of laying next to him, but not strapped to his back, as it would be very uncomfortable sitting in the seat, is a just a massive battle axe. It's just there because he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Where do I put this?
Lowen, you see this druddigon straining to keep the space a little bit between the like massive weapon. I'm just picturing like a druddigon that's just sitting there like...
Yeah.
You see this massive, like, burly druddigon trying to stay confined to only one seat of this little compartment. Your attention, however, after a few minutes, is drawn elsewhere by the slow crawl of a stop as you look out the window and you see the delightfully gorgeous meadows that you have been seeing all trip have given way to... Oh, yeah, I kind of figured. It's okay. You hate my whimsy, and by my whimsy, I mean my train noises. I promise they're really good, guys. Lowen, you and Draven too, you look out the window and you see that the scenery has shifted a little bit to that of a dense, tangled forest. Massive towering oaks of thin, bright green leaves tower all around you. You see big mushrooms and like overturned logs all covered with overgrown moss. It's, despite it being around like noon at this point, a veiled haze of darkness sort of begins to overtake a little bit, as you can feel the sort of sunlight being shrouded by the very dense forest around you. You have found yourself confidently at the heart of Curious Woods, as you see sort of transcending the scenery itself is a wooden train platform. You look out the window and you see a little like station sign written in unknown lettering. Town of Remnant. Population, I'm going to say 687. Small town. You hear the...
Attention all passengers, we have reached our final stop on the line. We have reached the town of Remnant, so if you are still on the train, please make sure to depart shortly. Be sure to pick up all luggage should you have chosen to stow it away. As suddenly Pokemon from all the compartments are beginning to pour out from the compartments, Lowen looks around. Probably best be going.
Absolutely.
Draven, you hear this scratchy ass voice in the back of your mind announce the slowing of the train as you see Pokemon begin to pour into the corridor. What do you do?
Is that directed to me?
Yes.
Okay. So people are pouring out of the train, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. So Draven is very big, and he's also carrying a big axe, and has probably noticed that there are a lot of people of various different sizes here. So I think he's probably just gonna like sort of stand by the door, sort of like lean by wherever he was sitting, and just kind of wait for like some people to file out before he can make his way through, because it's like, oh, you don't want to like bump into people or stab anybody or what have you.
I think Lowen getting out of it, noticing that Draven was having trouble, is gonna do that like passenger thing where like I just like stop like right in front of the like like where the path of people like would be Pokemon would be going, I would just like get in the way so that Draven has a moment to like also get in and out. And I'm kind of like,
Oh, he's just gonna give you a sort of like a nod and just move out.
no problem.
Oh, boom, boom, boom. Draven, thankfully the hallway is just big enough for you to make your way through, although not without a little squeezing. As Lowen, you trail behind with Apollyon. Lowen, Draven, the two of you step off as the feel of eroded wooden planks beneath your feet greet you. As you see Pokemon of all shapes, sizes, colors have poured out onto the train station. You see a vast variety. Some might be from the guild, some might not. If you would like to do a little perception check just to like clock who might be here, you are absolutely welcome to.
Sure. Why not? Ooh. I got
11.
a 22.
11. Okay, Draven, you're definitely taking in the sight of everyone around you, but you're not really like honing it in on particular specifics. You scan the crowd for some familiar faces, but you kind of end up coming up short a little bit. You don't see anyone who would really catch your eye. Lowen, however, you take in the sights of Pokemon all around you. There's a Furret with a bunch of little centric kids following her. You see Shinotic sort of trying to like squeeze its head through the door. And you also see, flanked by a pair of insectoid Pokemon, you see about like 3.5 feet tall, a red insectoid Pokemon, sort of like fluttering in the air, her wings batting furiously as you see she is being flanked by a Pokemon that looks very similar to her, as well as a different Pokemon, this one grounded, very like arachnid in stature, a thick, sort of like pincer-esque mustache upon his face. You see, you overhear Lowen. Now, Flicker, we remember what we talked about. You're here for your training. Do not let yourself be flecked down by anything else. And you see the shorter of the two Ledian sort of like do a brisk nod. Yes, Father, of course. Thank you so much for seeing me off. Lowen, you also, your attention is drawn to the sort of cargo loadout of the train, as the belly of the train itself has opened up for a lot of like bigger bags and like, you know, suitcases and whatnot, sort of being emptied. Names are being called out. Neither you nor Apollyon packed anything more than like a bag each. Draven, I imagine it's sort of the same case with you. So not a whole lot of worry surrounding gathering your belongings. However, you see one of the Pokemon handling the cargo, this heavier set girder, is without any effort, like bag after bag, like belonging after belonging, until you see he looks a little deeper in the cargo compartment. What the hell is that? You see he pulls out what has to be a massive silver shell the size of Meowstic. God. What the hell is in this thing?
Watch it.
Knocks on. Yeah, he knocks on the shell.
Hello.
Oh, my apologies, sir. Do you? Wait, were you in there the entire time? I search and walk away. Aldo, Aidan, can you please describe your character?
Yeah. So again, when you see the ginormous shell, truly massive, so dense, heavy metal shell, truly. I don't know how to describe it. You said Meowstic, roughly. You said is the size of?
That was the size of the shell. That might be a little off, but like, who cares?
But sure. Regardless of how big the shell is, when you see Aldo emerge, he is a sliggoo, a little slimy guy with big round glasses, and he's definitely not proportionate to the size of his shell. He's still growing into it. It's really large on him. I think there's a certain element of it's a little too heavy for him and a little too big, so it kind of drags on the ground as he like slips away. There's kind of like a little scratching metal noise every time he walks. And then he remembers to like pick it up. He's like, "Oh, my bad."
Oh Lord. Yeah, Lowen and Draven, the hustle and bustle of the train station is only background noise as you start to hear.
No way.
A little bit, but then I remember to pick it up. Then I remember to go.
The girder's like, "Did he have a ticket? Sir, where's your ticket?" But he's quickly overtaken by the rest of the passengers in need of their luggage. Aldo, we're gonna cut to you for just a second. Is you see step out at the edge of the train station as you see there's a little I wouldn't hesitate to call it little, big ass carriage waiting at the end of the train station with a mudsail at the very front. You see flanking the mudsail is an ambipom with sort of like tangled purple hairs, wearing this black bandana, holding up a sign that just reads, all apprentices here." If any of you lot are coming from wherever, if any of you are coming to the Titans Coven apprenticeship program, please come over here. This is your ride. This is your one and only chance. Please don't make me leave without you. I'm joking about that part, but like, you know, come on.
Slow skidding over in the direction of.
Aldo, you reach it first. The ambipom sets their sign down, tilts their head. "Hey, are you here for the apprenticeship program?"
Yeah, my name is Aldo.
You should have
you
my
see
name
they. Sorry, what did you say?
You should have my name on your list.
You see the ambipom has a clip. I can't.
What do you mean?
ambipom pulled out a clipboard. Okay, Aldo, AEDALDO. Yeah, you're locked in. We're gonna be leaving in like about like 10 minutes. We're gonna be waiting for some more people to show up. But congratulations, your first year. Where are you coming from?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Where are you coming from? Okay, well, fair enough.
I have a little pocket watch. I'm like, I hope people aren't late.
Put it back into my shell.
Yeah, me too. Where did you get that?
Where? What are you talking about?
Anyway, hi, hello. You see that they went back around as Lowen, you and Apollyon are here. Apollyon just waves. Hello, we're here for Lowen, Lowen. Flips through your clipboard. Lowen, yeah, got it. Yeah, just take a seat. We'll be leaving in just a sec. Lowen, you hear Apollyon strikes up a conversation with the ambipom, one former member of the guild to another current one. You overhear that their name is Piper, by the way, as you set yourself right down next to Aldo.
Just kind of looking over at him, but not like. It's kind of.
Little
Hello.
slimy.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Aldo. What is yours?
Lowen. It's nice to meet you. I mean, the apprenticeship
Jesus.
program.
Oh. Sorry. Continue.
I'm also one of the apprentices being brought on. I'm an arcane caster.
Oh, that's cool. I'm not really knowledgeable in that sort of magic stuff, but it's really cool.
And what do you do?
I hit things. Sometimes with this, and I'm kind of showing off the broom. Sometimes with my tail. know,
Interesting.
I just move around good, get things good. Nothing to cry home about. I can't like I can't make fire stuff like like magic uses.
I mean, to each their own. I look forward to working with you.
Likewise.
Sorry, can I just say, I'm getting like trauma flashbacks to like the worst introductions I have ever had during my first day of college. The second-hand embarrassment is crazy.
It worked! We did it!
This is just how Aldo is. I'm so sorry.
I am so excited. As this continues, Lowen and Aldo, you do see the Lettian that the two of you clocked on the train station. You can get a sort of better look at her now. She's got. Hold on, let me just check my notes real quick. You see the Lettian is wearing a bright blue bandana. You see different of her forearms. At least 3 of them are bandaged up in some way. Mostly like what you see are sort of like, fighting tape more than actual like bandages for injuries. She's got very pronounced antenna, longer than you would see for a Lettian of her type. And you see that she's got a little amulet tucked under her bandana that you see she's fiddling with. Sweet time here for the let's see. Flicker, cool name. Go on right ahead. We'll be leaving in a couple minutes. As Flicker sort of very quietly shuffles onto the carriage. Simply nods to the two of you. Doesn't really say anything else. Keeps her vision, keeps her eyes out towards the forest surrounding you.
Come on, her. Just to myself.
Finally, Draven, you see the carriage and start lumbering over with your things, with your massive set of belongings with you. You see the Ambipom Piper turns around. Oh, hey, are you here for the apprenticeship program? We have probably one more spot for you. Can I get your name real quick?
I think I just see the clipboard, sort of point to it, and just go, Draven.
I like
Cool, awesome.
Do you think I'll fit in there? I'm not too certain.
Here, let me grab something real quick. You see she whips out like a massive leather bag in front of the carriage. This thing's a lot bigger than it looks. You can dump your weapons in here. If it'll make your ride a little comfortable, we can grab it when we make it to the guild. It'll be like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, alright. Keep the bag, and I think he just sort of unstraps the axe, plops it in.
The axe, with all of its size, the axe swings ever so slightly in Aldo and Lowen's direction.
I go into my shell. I retract.
All right, that should be everything. Feel free to step on when you're ready. We'll probably be leaving in a little bit. We'll come back if anyone else comes a little later.
Thanks. I think
Great.
I'm just gonna...
Draven, you haul yourself onto the carriage, take up a massive amount of room next to... Who do you think Draven sits next to? Who do you think has enough space on their side?
Because I think you said Aldo and Lowen were sitting next to each other, and Flicker's on the other side, I think?
So probably next to Flicker, yeah?
Do we want to say it's 2 and 2, or do we want to say it's 3 and 1?
Probably 3 and 1, right?
That would be crazy. You, in that case, Flicker sees you come. Flicker is sitting across from the tube, sees you coming. For the love of... excuse me, I'm just going to pull this up over here. Plop yourself next to Lowen as Draven approaches.
I think he just plops down, sees that she moved, and just goes, sorry.
Oh no, you're all good. Just trying to keep the space sufficient. Probably, yeah. Doesn't really say anything else. Again, kind of avoiding your gaze a little bit. As Aldo, you look up, you see sliggoo is causing a bit of commotion over by the luggage, as well as the minccino that sort of held your place a little back on the train.
Are they gonna say anything to me? Because if they don't say anything to me, I'm not saying shit to them. That's the
Aldo's
thing.
the
Like,
same
I'm
way.
to talk. My character does not talk. I need to get that out of the way real quick.
Lowen's having that thing with people where it's like, oh, I saw that person. It'd be weird to talk to this person, right? Or would it be, I don't know, and so there's just kind of like a Lowen's more in his own head than actually going to commit to a conversation, but I think he it's like, what are the odds?
The odds? You just say, what are the odds?
Right? To Draven is like,
Sorry?
Sorry. What are the odds? We are like right next to each other on the train.
Huh. I didn't notice it, but
Lowen is like, okay, inside, devastated.
If I let this carry on, I'm going to start crying again. So.
RP is gonna be great, guys. Good job, real.
It's so
I think he's kind of
silly.
just like, I think he's just kind of like putting it in his brain, like, who the fuck is that? Oh, it's the guy who helped me. Yeah, he was cool, I guess. Just sort of like very slowly being like, who is this small child?
And Lowen is just thinking, why would you do it? And of course he doesn't know. What do you mean? Come on.
Aldo sitting there like, I hate all of you.
Exactly. You see the image.
Thanks for
Lord have mercy.
by the way. Sorry, didn't really, kind of in a rush, because,
No.
you know,
It's good.
yeah, so, you know, you get it.
Yeah, of course. It's all good.
And with that, before I make these three fight for their lives any further, we are going to cut away. Dear Lord.
Oh my
You
god.
said make it awkward!
No, it was no notes. Truly no notes.
No.
We are going to, as the Piper leads Apollyon into the front of the coach so that the four apprentices have room to sort of talk amongst themselves. The Piper mutters something to the Mudsdale, who you overhear, his name is Clyde, hopped into the front, and they head off in the direction of the guild. We are going to rush ahead just a little bit, as Tommy is going to change the music. As soon as Tommy finds the music, all my notes are on one Google Doc, and it takes a village, and by a village I mean scrolling.
So true.
Gotta use those tabs.
I am. That's the problem. There are too many now.
I just play so many outspoken characters that I play one that just doesn't really speak, and now we're all being socially anxious motherfuckers. And I'm just like, oh boy.
You gotta build.
Yeah, you gotta build.
Volume check. Good or lower?
Maybe a little lower.
Okay. Cool. Still learning how Zoom sharing audio works. I will never learn. As the carriage rockets off down the dirt road, we find ourselves peeling through thickets and thorns, past small little cottages and well-built shop fronts, until we find ourselves at the foot of a set of cobblestone stairs. 2 or 3 flights up, this massive set where a bunch of Pokemon are sort of lounging about, sitting and talking to friends, or heading to and fro where they need to be. Overlooking this set of stairs is a massive building painted with black wood. It is, despite its size and despite its color, it's not quite so imposing as it could be. The coloration doesn't exactly help, but the you see as the stairs kind of progress, there are fields where tables and chairs are set up, little bulletin boards outside of the building. Breaking through the aesthetic is the feeling of indelible community as Pokemon spill out the doors and enter all the same. Teams of exploration teams wandering around, kind of killing some time or making mission plans. Chatter and general hubbub overtakes this place in a way that feels very connected. There is a little table set up outside the guild doors where one would see a sort of scruffy-looking Monferno, kind of tabling outside of the guild, her feet kind of kicked up upon the table itself as she's sort of flipping through a little magic item catalog. Her attention is caught, however, when she sees a trio of Pokemon approaching. She tucks it into her belongings, and she gives a little wave. Welcome. Are you here for check-in? As you see, she is facing a trio of ghostly-looking Pokemon. One a hulking Dusknoir, another a sort of mousy-looking Gourgeist, and hovering in front of both of them, Honey, would you please do us all the honors of introducing your character?
Hello. So, this haunter looks like any other haunter. There's nothing really special about it. He has a wand in one hand. He doesn't have any bags. The Dusknoir is carrying a box, but that seems to be about the extent of his belongings. But he opens his mouth to speak, and you see that his mouth is blue, and his tongue is also bright blue raspberry ass blue. As he says, "Yes, we are Icarus."
Icarus. Cool name, yeah. Welcome, Icarus. My name's Raphael. I'm one of the, I'm a member here of Team Solstice here at the Titans Coven. I actually graduated from the same program as you're joining now, so welcome. You, okay, so it's looking like you're gonna be bottom floor A. Got it. Here's your room key. Tosses it to you. Lands in your oversized clawed hand. You are welcome to, you are checked in, so you can head, you're going to walk into the guild, head over to the leftmost set of stairs. You'll see, signs on everything, so you probably won't get lost. Those will be leading down to the lower floor. That is where all the apprentices are being housed. So yeah, feel free to get yourself settled. The apprentices aren't really needed for anything until like a little around dinner time for the start of orientation. So you can kick back and relax in the meantime, and we will see you there.
Raphael, did you say your name was? Is this person wearing a name tag?
Yes.
Yes.
Raphael, she/he, written below it.
So true. Raphael, you said your name was?
Yeah.
Thank you. See you around.
See you around, Icarus. Take care. As you hear your mother, Roisha, the Dusknoir, pat you on your shoulder? What's a shoulder for a hunter? I don't know.
Just back, a spike,
the closest approximation of your shoulder on your body. All right, come now, Icarus. Let's get you settled in. Icarus, you are ushered in by your parents as your father, Remus the Gourgeist. It's a lot more busy. It's a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. I suppose that would be the guild culture, I suppose, but I wouldn't have anticipated things to be so bustling.
Yes, it's quite a bit much, frankly, for me, but I'll get used to it, I suppose.
Well, we can haul you off to your room in no time, darling. As you enter the Desmond, are you good?
I didn't realize that my parents were gonna be elderly.
They're ghosts. I don't know. You going to gonna change the transition of the music a little bit. Do 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 do. Search, comb through my tabs. Me and my evil tabs.
Ooh.
Icarus, you have your father haul the doors open in front of you, and instantly you are thrust into chaos. You step into this massive, part lobby, part holding room, part maybe dining room. It is a huge foyer, filled to the brim with what have to be around like 30 or 40 Pokemon at least. Some are crowded around bulletin boards or discussing whatever they might be discussing amongst friends or teammates. Some sit at long tables set up beneath huge sort of like half circle windows, eating lunch or poring over maps. You see a lot of them are, you see a lot of eyes are on you actually, Icarus, as you walk in. A couple of Pokemon sort of like nodding towards you and sort of acknowledging a unfamiliar face or a new face, given the time of day. Sure enough, you do see at the far left end of the room, you see a little staircase, a railed staircase, with a little sign that says, pointing with a little arrow pointing downwards, that says apprentice housing.
Icarus, as people acknowledge him, like give nods, I can't imagine a haunter smiling could look friendly in any context, but the least threatening smile he can muster. He just responds to every one of them.
Awesome. Here's what I'm gonna do. Roll an intimidation check. You want to roll low.
Intimidation. Oh! Tommy. You can't. Hold on.
Go. For the bit, let's see it.
It's a 12.
Okay, so pretty okay. You Lord have mercy. Icarus, you catch sight of someone noticing your presence. Let's see. You see a stout little Tinkaton, armored up in like full plate with like a massive gilded hammer behind her back. You see she's talking very animatedly to a Pokemon that you recognize as an Espafra, with a little like gilded necklace around their neck. The Tinkaton sees you, gives you sort of like, Icarus, what is the not the least threatening smile, but like a 4 out of 10 as far as like threatening smiles go?
I think probably, I know they don't have lips, but like the equivalent of a no tooth smile, like but like the eyeballs are just kind of always glaring, so it's just like.
Sorry, I'm imagining that, like, you know that Truth or Dare movie where it's like, Truth or Dare, Sydney, like.
Smile moment, fucking.
Not smile.
I practice the shit in the mirror. It's really hard. I'm doing my best.
The Tinkaton is sort of smiling at you, but she see like turns back to her teammate. As
Right.
Icarus, you. Oh,
Right.
sorry.
Right, well, I've already bungled that up. Just to himself.
What was that, Icarus?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It seems like I'll be living this way.
Oh yes. Would you like us to accompany you to your housing, or do you believe you will be capable of moving yourself in proper on your own?
I can handle a box, I believe. Why you don't want to come in?
No, we would love to. We're just simply consulting you first. I understand you would like your privacy, perhaps.
No, that's quite alright. I imagine you want a quiet moment as well. Assuming my roommate hasn't already moved in.
So are you inviting us downstairs? The vibes
Yes.
are unclear right now. Okay.
Yes, Dad, thank you.
You're welcome, my son. You head downstairs as you hear in the background. Why, this building is quite lovely, Icarus. I can see you getting quite comfortable very quickly. This seems like a lot of nice people. Like, your mother is just yapping and yapping. As you wander downstairs, I want to roll a d4 actually, real quick. See who you run into, if anybody.
Ewy.
Yowie. No. Icarus, you hover downstairs rather quickly. You don't need to go through the cumbersome action of like actually walking down. Quick enough that you almost swoop up on another Pokemon who you see just like, God, sorry. You see that you have almost run headfirst into a kind of burly-looking Croconaw. You see, give me a perception check right off the bat.
Okay. That's a 5. I'm rolling different dice. I rolled the same number twice in a row.
Lord.
So let's get that out of here.
Croconaw, you don't really clock anything super, particularly noticeable. He seems a little more, muscular than most. If you've seen any Croconaws before, but you don't have time to, really focus on the details. You see that he's dragging a big old greatsword behind him, as he's like, oh, sorry, you go.
My apologies. Sorry.
Sort of circles around you and your parents. He's sort of before he tromps up the stairs, the blade of his sword hitting every single
Icarus just kind of turns around and is right. All right. I suppose that will be common.
You float down the hall. Room A is all the way at the end. Sort of reverse alphabetical order based on proximity to the staircase. You pass by a couple rooms as well that you see are guild member boarding. Rooms that seem a little bigger, a little nicer, with names that you don't recognize. You see that there are a set of 6 rooms, sort of off into the 3 on each side. Yeah?
I want to take down, or commit to memory the names of these guild members.
Cool. I'm not going to tell you all of them right this minute,
fine.
but I'll let you know if you recognize any names later.
Mm-hmm.
What you do notice is when you reach what you presume to be your door, you see there are all the name tags on the doors are very artfully done, way too artfully, all things considered. It is way too nice for basically grad student housing. You see these little plaques, one on top of another, that you see have very eloquent lettering in a faded purple. Your name Icarus is written in some sort of very fancy unknown scripture. Right beneath, in a sort of a softer purple lettering, in block letters, Batista.
Batista. All right.
As the door is cracked open a little bit, but you hear from the other side, it just someone humming very sort of bouncy to themselves.
Icarus is gonna knock on the door. Am I interrupting something?
You peek in. The room is frankly a little bigger, a little nicer than you probably might have expected. You see that there's a nice solid distance between one side of the room and another. Each person is equipped with a very nice looking straw bed. There's a big old window overlooking the edge of the sort of little cliff that the guild stands on, where you can see just trees and thickets and paths beneath you. Both sides of the room also have a little desk, as well as a weapons and armor rack. You see there's a little shelf where that might be fit for tomes or other sort of spellcasting features. The right side of the room has already been taken over. As you see, leaning on that side of the rack, you see a big old quarterstaff, as well as what looks like a really, very ornate cello. You see, sort of working on already getting his bedding prepared. You see, with a big old pair of spectacles on his face and a little white ascot around his neck, a grumpig. Sort of very everyone's
Oh my goodness.
yeah, you see Grumpig. He's got he's almost doesn't notice you at first, but turns around. Oh golly, almost didn't see you there. You must be Icarus, huh?
Yes, I take it you're Batista?
One and only. Nice to meet you. As a big old smile, he holds out a stubby little arm.
Pleasure. Nice
No,
song
where
that you
y'all
have
come-
going on.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just coming to myself. I'm working on a little composition, kind of on the side, but probably not going to never see the light of day. These are folks. I can head on out and give you a little space if you need to. I'm mostly done moving all my things in, but I'm happy to help you, or more or less just avail myself to you if you just need the space cleared. I'm happy to give you some space.
Yes. 10-15 minutes would be great.
Sounds good to me. I need to get myself acquainted with the premises here at the Coven anyway, so I'm going to go on a little walk, but I'll probably see you around somewhere.
Well, you know where I live.
Yeah, fair enough. Nice to meet you. Kind of goes to pat you, sort of on the side. His hand goes through. Goes through things. Impressive. All right, nice to meet you, Icarus. So sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Icarus. Gonna scooch past you real quick. As the Grumpig sort of scoots out of the room. Well, he seems like quite the handful.
I agree. But it should be fine. Anyway, he takes the single box of his belongings and puts it on the bed. The only thing, are there sheets on this bed, or is it complete college dorm empty?
There's a pair. There's a set of basic sheets, a blanket, a little comforter, and some pillows.
Right. So the only thing that he has brought are some books, an extra blanket, and a trinket for his desk. And that is all he has brought.
What's the trinket?
What's the trinket, you say? It's this little crystalline figure. Sorry.
Really, what does that mean?
It's a little crystalline figure that's in the shape of a little bat, a noibat. It's quite cute. And he just sets it on his desk. And
as you set it down, you see you look at the sort of base of the sort of figurine. Your eyes catch a little bit of lettering carved into the bottom, lettering that you've poured over time and time again. That just reads, "Let it give you the strength that you need. -N."
deep breath, and then puts it down. And that's all his shit. That's all he brought.
Well,
Right.
Icarus, it is a pleasure to have accompanied you here. However, your mother and I should best be going.
Yes, I appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy lives to move me in. It really means
Of
a lot.
course. Any time for my lovely son. As the Gorga is sort of slides towards you, Icarus. Kisses you on the side of on both sides of your head. Have a wonderful experience. Please do not forget to write.
I won't. Good luck. Enjoy your travel back.
Sorry, Aidan, huh? are you saying wood for Batista?
Batista.
The pig?
Aldo,
The
no!
The pig?
Pig.
He's charming. He's southern.
Can I get some pigs in chat?
I'm
He said
sorry.
if you could take me out to dinner.
That means you can take me
Yeah,
to
you
dinner.
can take me out to dinner.
This pig is already the best character in the game. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Already peak. We're like a half hour in. We're not doing the smash or pass until after session. Come on, we're not doing that while we're recording.
Correct.
Why not, coward?
Icarus, Remus and Remesia bid you farewell. And please write to us if you need anything, my son.
Will do. Thank you.
Enjoy your time.
Right.
as Remus and Remesia very uncomfortably leave the room, leaving you, Icarus, to your own devices for a minute.
Well, I sure hope that they can find their own way out.
Great. Is there anything that you want to do while you're here, or are we going to cut away real quick?
I'll leave a little dramatic ending scene, slightly dramatic, I guess, which is just he just picks up the figurine again and sits and looks at it until Batista comes back.
Sure enough, a couple minutes pass by as you kind of find yourself lost in this haze of thought until hey buddy, good for me to come back in. I think I still need to do a little bit of organization. See your folks have gone out of here.
Yes, that's quite all right. You can come back.
Thank you. As for the next couple minutes, Batiste is going to talk your ear off. You're welcome to. Do you think you hold on to any information that he is telling you, or do you think his voice kind of like fades into the background a little?
I think the only thing that he's gonna take note of, like, general vibe, personalities, not necessarily like important stuff that he says, as in like where he's from, what he's studying, but not necessarily if he's just gonna say like, oh, I met a bunch of people, blah 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 blah, whatever.
Yeah. So what you do hold on to, number one, he mentions that he's from Summer Center Crater, kind of like lives on a farm out like on the outskirts of the crater itself. Sort of like northeastern Talis. Number two, he is a bard who is currently here for the. He mentions that he's here specifically to study magical practitioner, which I believe is also Icarus's field here.
Magic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to clarify, there are four little like kind of like sub like not majors, but very much like kind of categories of study. That being kind of the names themselves are not coming to me, but basically it's divvied up into martial combat, magical practitioner, medicinal studies, and navigation. So the last of them being kind of like all about exploration. Can I just want to like sweep across the party? What would everyone's sort of specific like major be here?
I think arcane practice.
Martial combat, but if there's any way to sort of do a little bit of medicinal stuff, perhaps, maybe.
Yeah, you will have plenty of opportunities too. More so asking about your focus here.
Then martial, yeah. That...
Yeah, Charles?
Okay, could you run them by me one more time really quick?
So you've got basically like martial combat, magical practitioner, medicinal studies, and navigational studies.
Probably medicinal studies?
Yeah, correct. Makes sense. And Lowen?
Martial combat.
Lovely. Yeah, Batista mentions that he is here for specifically magical practitioner, but he's interested in looking a little into the medicinal side of things. Talks a lot about knowing a lot about wizard like magic as well, kind of figuring out where he wants to sort of split down the middle a little. And he mentioned you pick up a couple things about like his actual like home life. Lived on a farm. He's a bit of a street performer on the side. He has sort of a circus background. Has like 3 younger brothers. The oldest. He is the oldest of them. And he mentions that he's here to use his powers to spread joy instead of other worse things that a lot of Pokemon use their powers to inflict upon others. Yeah, you hear all of this. I don't know if you would really say anything back.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Does he seem at all interested in Icarus?
Give me an insight check, yeah.
7? Correct.
He's happy to be here. You don't really catch anything other than like, yeah, he's probably like trying to start conversation. You are his roommate, so he seems like the kind of guy to want to get a very good rapport right off the bat. And he also seems just very generally excitable. Maybe not your vibe, but you know, not all people are going to be.
That's all right. He like kind of entertains Batista for a bit, giving like little like yes, very interesting. Oh, that's crazy. Wow, that must have been really hard for you. You know.
Hit him with the damn bro, that's crazy. Give me a deception check.
This is wild. Okay, sure. That's an 18.
Great. He thinks you are listening with full attention. As we cut away from Icarus slowly growing numb to the sound of this man's voice, we are going to venture just outside of the guild again, as the commotion of outside of the guild begins to break up a little bit as people notice a carriage coming into view from down the path. The Mudsail Clyde slows to like a slow trot, kind of shouting, "Hey, we're here!" Over to Piper, who's sitting at the front of the carriage with Apollyon. Piper swings himself off of their seat, knocks on the door of the carriage. "All right, we're all good." As she swings it open, leaving room for the 3 of you and Flicker to get off.
Getting off.
Now, which of the 3 of you do you think reached the sign-in first? Or rather, who would like to volunteer?
The sign. Sorry, say that again.
Who do y'all think would make it to the guild itself first? If y'all are heading up.
By virtue of Aldo being a snail, I feel like he moves very slow.
I'll get there eventually.
Let's say Lowen then. Lowen, you sort of less step more than jump off the carriage itself as you hit the dirt, the dirt ground beneath you. Look all the way up at this massive building at the top of the stairs. You feel Apollyon come up next to you. Wow, it certainly has been a while. Well, shall we?
Yeah. Glory days coming back and all that.
Well, I wouldn't come alone. I wouldn't call them glory days, but
That's a term of phrase. I didn't mean anything by it.
I always miss it a little, I think, as he picks you by the hand and leads you up the stairs. Sure enough, you reach that sort of check-in stand where the Monferno, you see the name tag of Raphael on his little vest that he's wearing, sort of nods at you. All right, welcome. Hold on, minccino. Lowen, right?
Yep, that's me.
Great. Okay, so he's gonna toss you a key, give you kind of the same rundown that Icarus received about having a little bit of time before things are going to kick into gear, to be in the main hall at this time. until then, go move in, have fun exploring. Waves you off towards your little sign, towards the door of the guild. Draven, I think you saddle up very shortly after. Draven, give me an insight check real quick as you approach.
Okay, great. I'm so good at insight. 14.
Okay, solid. Draven, you kind of like look around, sort of like get a feel of the place. You notice a few more eyes on you than you might have expected / might be comfortable with. You reckon someone of your size, your stature, might not be a super common sight to the guild itself. As you realize, you probably look a lot more experienced than many of the other like wide-eyed apprentices that might be coming around. As you see, the Monferno lifts an eyebrow. Hello, sir. Are you looking for anybody in the guild?
Here's an apprentice. Draven.
Oh, you're... oh, shoot. Sorry. Okay.
I get given that... I get it a lot.
Well, listen, you... Nothing could have fooled me. You seem confident already. Well, Draven, nice to meet you. You are going to be bottom floor D&D for Draven. As he sort of slings you your key. Give you the same spiel. Let me know if you need anything. I'm going to be around with my team members, Piper. I shouldn't have Piper, you were on the carriage. Them or our captain, Linnea. You'll see her around Manectric. She's hard to miss. Yeah, just let us know if you have any questions. We've been through the whole dance ourselves, so we kind of know what we're going through.
Thanks.
Cool. Well, nice to meet you. He waves you off, and then he turns out towards the table, sees 2 eyes dangling from top. Oh, hey, you one of the apprentices?
Aldo?
Oh, was that?
Oh,
yes.
What? To me?
Yes.
2 eyes?
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, antennas, not eyes.
Yeah, I was like, are my eyes now?
They should be. No. Oh, hi. All right, can I get your name real quick?
Aldo.
Aldo. All right. Great. Well, welcome. So happy to have you here.
You're
going to be... Yeah, awesome. You are going to be in bottom floor F, hard to miss, probably the of the apprentice room that's closest to the staircase, so sure you know how to read, so you'll see them. Let us know if you have any questions. Be at the main hall by dinner time, and we'll have orientation from there. So happy to have you.
Wonderful.
You
How
slither
is
away.
going down the stairs for Aldo with the giant stuff?
You see, there's a little like sort of like
is there a ramp?
Yeah, there is a kind of like an automatic like pulley operated elevator made of wood and like a couple of rods of steel. So you very slowly make your way across the guild hall. Sort of a lot of Pokemon giving kind of like the same sort of like newbie sort of look. A lot of eyes on your shell in particular. As you make your way downstairs, we're going to cut back to Lowen real quick. Lowen, you end up in room B, sort of hobbling down the corridor. You don't run into anybody. You do hear the sound of someone talking incessantly from the room just like across from yours. But you see the door to yours is swung wide open. You catch a glimpse of the lettering on the side, right above your name in silver, a little name in bright yellow, lettered Katrina, is lingering above yours. You walk in and you see that your roommate has already gotten herself acclimated. As you see a little like blue and red ball cap sort of like hanging on the edge of the bed. You see a small yellow rodent-esque Pokemon with a huge map laid out across her bed. One that, unfurled, is probably like 5 times her size. But you see she's like pouring over it, her paws against her mouth, kind of sitting on her stomach. You see Pikachu with a little heart-shaped tail sort of already like on the bed. No, the Pikachu was not a bit.
Pikachu with a hat!
Pikachu with a hat!
Yo! I think Lowen's gonna do like a... I think before going in, it's like, you gotta shape up. All these first impressions, you gotta shape up. Hello.
Are you Lowen?
Yeah, Katrina.
Yeah, nice to meet you. She hops down from the bed, sort of skitters over and like very hurriedly shakes your hand. Wow, oh my god, your hair is so soft. Well, nice to meet you. Do you need any? I can help you get your stuff set up. She waves very animatedly to Apollyon. Oh, hello, Katrina.
It's no problem. I can get it all settled myself. I don't got much. You seem to be working along with that map. You can.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm really just trying to familiarize myself with the town a little bit. Really just trying to get a scope of everything before I set out. I'm kind of pants with directions, so.
Right. I get that. Yeah.
As Lowen, you begin kind of getting yourself acclimated as sort of trailing behind you, Draven. You lumber down the hall towards room D. As you make it to yours, and for the first time out of our party members, you are the first one here. The room is locked, so you turn the key. Your eyes lift up towards the lettering on your door, your name on top in bright red. The name below you in a soft blue simply reads Nikolai.
Sorry, out of game. That's really funny. I think as Draven sort of opens the door and walks in, he just goes, "Deeper Draven." didn't actually respond when the actual joke happens. It's just like, oh, that's pretty good.
Draven, yeah, you start getting your things sort of all in order. Set your axe into the Set your axe into the weapons rack. Mm-hmm. Aldo, you kind of make your way. Hold on, I'm gonna turn out this. Aldo, you make your way towards your room, room F. You see upon your door, your name is on top in this thoughtful lavender. Right below you, in a sort of bright ocean blue, Rufus.
Interesting.
The door is unlocked, but no one is there. You can see whoever your roommate is has already kind of set things up and dipped. But give me a either perception or investigation check real quick.
I wonder which one the wizard is going to do. 22.
Nice.
22 investigation, I should say.
Yeah, you kind of peer over to Rufus' side of the room, the one that's been already claimed. He has brought less than I think you could. If you could imagine a minimum of what things to bring to a program like this, you think he's achieved it. Literally, only a small leather satchel and a big ass set of armor.
I respect it so deeply. I think all this.
Yeah, you see the armor, the sort of like weapons rack is also loaded up with a couple like smaller like maces and hammers. Though you see the biggest slot is unoccupied right now.
I think Aldo has minimal experience with like martial characters, so he's like, not having this many weapons feels unnecessary. And then I think he's going to go about like setting up the little decorations he has for his room. They're definitely like classification posters. Like he's a nerd. He's very scientific, so it's like very much like the genuses of this, like whatever it is. Little periodic table.
Crazy. Aldo, you get yourself situated as, like, from outside of the door, you hear the sort of, like, buzzing of Flicker's wings as she passes the room. Ducks into the one right across from you. You see has the name Kirly, Kirly, in green with the name Flicker in red right above.
Anybody here?
close the door behind her. We are going to, before we cut away, Icarus, Draven, Aldo, Lowen. Anything of note that you would like to do while you're down here before we move on a little bit? I'll take it as a no.
I think I'm good.
Oh, sorry. That's what you were going to say?
I was just gonna. Lowen's like trying to take up as little room as possible, and I think Apollyon is trying to fight that, and I think that's kind of what's happening quietly in the room while Katrina's kind of seems to be in her own world.
Yeah, Katrina is like giving you guys the space of like not really engaging. She is poring over every single like facet of this map of Remnant. As we cut away, we're going to cut away momentarily to outside the guild again. As people start loading in and out of the guild once more, over as a couple of hours pass, like maybe like an hour or so, really. A couple of Pokemon are distracted by the sound of flapping wings. A massive shadow looms over Remnant for just a moment as a big steely Corviknight with a big old like carriage entangled in its in between its feet begins to descend just right in front of the guild building. Setting the carriage down as lightly as he can, he unlatches himself and sort of like lays himself down onto the ground next to the door itself, kind of like pecks on the side of the carriage. As the door opens, Ash, I would love for you to do the honors of introducing your character for us.
I can talk now, hooray!
Thank you for waiting, by the way. I appreciate your patience.
You're all good. I think this is the first time my character has not been the first one introduced, so this is an experience.
Yeah, actually, Garden Song and Whistles, I think both times your character was first.
I actually, let me pull it up real quick. I actually have a picture of what Gwyn looks like. Just send it to the. So I will send the picture in the chat. So this is Guinevere. She is an Armor Rouge. As you guys see, she's like maybe like 4'11", 5 foot. Kind of like more like I'm trying to think how to describe this. She's like a little built, but like more of like in a practical sense. And she's like very like politely thanks the Corviknight. I like to think she like leans into the carriage like as payment and pulls out like multiple pieces of armor.
Oh, Guinevere, you don't have to do that. I only said one.
Oh, come on, I insist.
You're too kind, hon. Well, listen, it is my pleasure. Don't do anything stupid, and if you need any transportation from here to the crater, then send a letter and I'll be over there as soon as I can.
Deal. Alright, and I think, yeah, she starts heading out. I think she just kind of takes a moment to just kind of take it on, like, alright, new place, new-ish people. Alright, got it. She kind of, like, steels herself to go in.
Quinn, I would like you to, right off the bat, make an insight check.
You got it. Let's see what I wrote. Okay, that's good. Okay. So, that is going to be... Okay, that's 25.
Holy shit. Gwen, you steel yourself, let out a breath, and begin climbing the stairs. And you start making that sort of like trek up. You've got your things behind you. You're more or less ready to go. As you walk, you sort of clock the faces of Pokemon all around, and many of them guild walkers, some of them just denizens of Remnant. And what you start to see is a couple of Pokemon you presume from the guild. You sense that there's very much like the, oh, new person. And there's a little bit of like that friendliness. Instantly you feel it though. Curved eyebrows, sort of confused looks or looks of surprise. You see one Pokemon muttering to another as they nod towards you, trying to be covert about it, but failing miserably. As You try and shake that off and walk over to the Monferno at the sign-in table, who has already clocked you. Hey,
Howdy.
hi. What business are you here on exactly?
I'm one of the apprentices.
Wait, you. Hold on. She flipped through her notes. Oh,
Guinevere.
God,
It's spelled a little weird. There's a Y.
Yeah, no, I know who you are. Sorry, I didn't realize you were. I didn't realize you were part of the program. Welcome, Guinevere. It's nice to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, okay. I guess you're gonna be room C. He said who you are, but I know what you are. It's crazy. You're gay. I can smell it.
No! Oh!
You you see the Monferno, you notice right off the bat, very flustered, very embarrassed. So sorry about that.
You are
I
all
remember
right.
any names
It's all good.
like I should. Okay. Well, here's your room key. I'm sure you'll be able to find the. Actually, have you been here before? Or
I actually no. This is my first time.
really? Okay. Wouldn't have guessed. Well, listen. Apprentice housing is downstairs. Your room C. You can take as much time as you need to get situated, familiarize yourself. If you're looking for the guildmaster, she's not going to be around until probably after dinner. But yeah, listen, if you need anything, give me a holler or find some other member of the guild. I'm sure they'll be happy to help you get acclimated. And yeah, you got any questions or?
Nothing I can think of at the moment. You said after dinner is when the guild match will be back, right?
Probably, yeah, if I had to guess.
All right, good to know.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine she'll be joining us. So, we'll, if you're looking to, I mean, talk to. Sorry. You go on ahead. I'll leave you to it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And let me know if there's anything I can do. Yeah.
Of course.
You walk away. I got one of my dice again. I literally can't be taken anywhere.
You got flustered. It's okay.
You walk past, and you hear Raphael very quietly as you enter. I'm gonna let that 25 carry over. You walk in. The door closes behind you, and you see members of the guild all around. The chatter almost stops as people happen on the side of you walking in. You hear a couple murmurs, mostly people trying to keep up whatever conversation or keep up whatever facade they might have been maintaining before they noticed you. But it is not being lost on you the way your presence has been picked up on. That was a little quiet. Can you say that again?
The silence is deafening.
Gwen, are you gonna head downstairs?
Yeah, I think she'll keep moving, but like it's definitely like she's sitting there. She's like very much aware of that. Like so many people instantly clocked her.
Yeah, and give me a perception check while you're at it. I'm gonna say with
God.
advantage because you did so well in insight before.
Hell yeah. So the highest was a natural 20.
Oh shit! That's the first one of the campaign.
Let's go.
We're gonna add that to our little crit and cringe list, as has been the tradition recently.
Gwen fucking came out swinging.
Great. Sorry, I just see Kylie sent me a screen cap of Aidan saying about the tease. Prison. Gwen, on a natural 20, there are a few faces that you know you're going to see here, and right off the bat you clock one, as you notice a kind of like very heavy set Grimmsnarl at one of the tables, sort of eating lunch with a couple of other guild Pokemon. You see his eyes are locked very intently upon yours, and on that 25 before, with quite a bit of surprise and you want to say discomfort, as you see he murmurs something to his buddies, gets up and with his lunch still in hand, heads into one of the side hallways leading to another room of the guild itself.
Okay. I'm going to make a mental note of which room this Grimmsnarl is heading to.
Great. Do you want to head? What do you want to do?
I think first things first, she needs to unpack. She needs to actually get herself like acclimated to guild life. So she's probably going to start making her way to the dorms. You head downstairs. Head over to room C. You hear at this point about an hour after everyone's gotten here, who would still be in their room? Out of curiosity. Literally everybody. Got it. But yeah, you, Guinevere, you walk down the steps, make it to room C. You see, dangling beneath your name written like brilliant red. You see two names, actually. One in purple, one in black. You see Talea and Veronica. Okay.
However,
wait, hold
you
on.
pull on the door.
Is Gwyn in a fucking triple?
Gwyn's in a triple.
Hell yeah!
You're the first one here. Neither of your roommates have made it quite yet. You walk in, and oh my god, this room's fucking huge. Jesus. As is the experience of walking in a triple in any different building.
I was gonna say, Gwyn has probably lived in like a small 2-floor house her entire life. She's just like, oh my stars.
What are Gwyn's belongings that she's... yeah, it's huge. You claim a side... It's less one or two sides and more like one of three sides of the room. Mm-hmm. You claim yours, and... oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there are little differences between each of the rooms themselves. For instance, Draven's room, there are big windows out in front of most of the rooms. Draven, in your room, you see that one of the windows is directly facing over one side of the room where your bed is, as sunlight filters directly in towards where you would be sleeping.
They gave me a window.
Some of the rooms are scaled up or scaled down. Lowen and Katrina's room is probably a little smaller to account for the little guy claws. Although your side of the room is a little warmer than Rufus's, on another note. Nothing really specific about Icarus and Batiste's room, except for Batiste's bed being a little on the bigger side. And Icarus having a sort of more circular bed to account for his body size. But yeah, Gwyn, so what does Gwyn have on her that she's going to be unpacking?
I feel like, oh God, what would Gwyn pack? She would probably pack all of her tools, a blanket. Are there pillows supplied?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool, because she totally would have forgotten to pack one. And outside of that, probably I guess she's wearing her weapon.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I guess outside of that, maybe just I don't want to say school supplies, but I don't think she really knew what she was getting herself into. So she just has a notebook, and a family photo that I like to think it's this tall but this wide.
Oh yeah, you see your parents in the spare moments that they actually were around to even take a photo to begin with are there with you, your older brother, all your younger siblings. Your eyes linger on the photo a little bit, maybe a little pit forming in your stomach, but you nonetheless set the photo down and look out at the massive room before you. Lord have mercy. So, with that, as you're sort of getting acclimated, at a certain point, you hear a sort of gentle knock on the door.
Oh, come in.
You hear the door open, and you hear a voice from behind you. Oh, I was wondering when you all were going to get here. Guinevere, right? You turn around and standing in the...
Oh, wait. I see notice
doorway.
up against the wall, but I was like, behind me?
Sorry, in the doorway behind you, I guess. Okay. You turn around and you see, poking their head in, not quite entering the room in its entirety, you see a big old Gudra. You see they're wearing a very, eloquent lavender cardigan. You see that there's a bit of a sleepy look in their eyes, but you see their heads tilted a little bit as they sort of nod towards you. Guinevere, right?
Yes, and you are?
You mind if I come in?
Oh, of course.
So sorry. They sort of squeeze their way through. Name's Glenn. I'm one of the deputy guildmasters. I'm just here to see who's checked in, sort of gauge how everything's going for. Over here. It's nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Yeah, I moved in. I got everything situated just a little moment ago.
It's good to hear. Yes. I've heard a lot about you, so it's nice to finally meet you in person.
Well, it's glad to hear that my name's getting around a little.
Yes, well, listen, I just wanted to stop in and sort of let you know I'm, alongside my duties here as sort of helping out Guildmaster Lennox, as one of the deputies. I'm also kind of in charge of housing of sorts, just taking care of everything for the apprentices. I'm more or less your advisor, so if there's any accommodations that I can make for your room as a whole, and that goes for everybody else. Your roommates haven't gotten here. I presume the beds look pretty bare.
Not yet, no. Just me.
Right, well, I'm just here to let you know that any accommodations that we can make, any changes that are more necessary, give me a holler. I will be happy to work all of that out for you.
Right, of course.
Right, is there anything I can do in the meantime, or...?
Well, nothing at the moment. I'm just getting everything situated right now.
Right, and I assume you got kind of a lowdown of what's going to be unfolding later. Perfect, all right. Yes, well, you see they pause a little bit, and you can tell very clearly there's a little more that they want to say, but are kind of having a hard time articulating. Well, it is a pleasure to have you join the Coven, join the family. I'm looking forward to getting to work with you.
As am I.
Take care, Guinevere. I will see you later.
Or same to you.
And they sort of shuffle out. They're going to make a very similar round around almost everyone else's rooms. Lowen, Icarus, Aldo, each of you at some point see have your door knocked upon while you're there. Glenn pokes their head in, introduces you. Aldo, you when they come in, they're like, "No kidding."
Oh,
hello.
Hello.
This is the first. Nice to finally meet you, Aldo. Where are you coming from? Sorry, I don't think I've ever run into any other members of my line before here.
I'm clanless.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I was more so referring to location, but I'm sorry to hear.
I think Aldo realized that he misunderstood the question. Is really deeply like.
Well, I'm, I lived there in a while, but I'm with Ferngull.
Oh, Ferngull, that's in the east, right?
That's close enough. It's a little closer to Wormhold. We used to be, at least. Been a while, so I haven't really quite touched base. But
of course.
Yeah. Well, listen, I will lead you to it. I'll lead you to alone. So there's nothing. Oh, I'm as right as rain, fella. Please don't call me that. But thank you. As Glenn looks back at you, Aldo. Well, listen, nice to. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to see a sliggoo here. Nice to meet you, and let me know. Find me during dinner if you want to just talk about things. I would love to sort of hear more about kind of your whole deal. I guess.
I would like that.
Nice show, by the way. I've never really seen anything like it before.
to ward off weakness.
Fair enough. Yeah, if it works for you. All right. Well, take care of the two of you. Draven, you hear the voice of someone stopping in these rooms. You notice they don't stop into yours. You hear the voice, you hear the name.
I think Draven is probably, knowing that there's not anybody else here yet, is sort of just like setting down a bunch of stuff on his desk, sort of like, there's like a little bottle, like sort of antidote. It's just got a little tape on it that just says allergies. There's like a couple other things. And I think as he is getting, there's like a blanket. I think as he is sort of taking the last thing out of his bag, because it's a lot of practical stuff, I think he's setting down, he's got these little wooden little figurines that he sets on the side of his desk. And I think as he sort of hears the voice and hears the name outside, he sort of stiffens, turns towards the door, and has like a deer in headlights of like, later, not now. And I think he just sort of, like, on the realization of like, oh shit, sort of just, like, is thinking of turning towards the door, but then it's just like, no, and then sits down and probably goes to take a nap or something.
Lovely. All right, so with that, we're going to take a 10. So goes for 2 legs, use the bathroom, get water. I might be getting dinner, we will see. I'm going to text Laura real quick, see when she's coming back, and we're going to go from there. All right, disperse, 8:15.
Maybe I will also be dinner. Bye.
Booga, and I cannot stress this enough, Booga. White people jump scared. Kylie, did he give up on the blazer?
What'd you say?
Did he give up on the blazer?
Yeah, I changed into a t-shirt and sweats because I'm fucking dying.
No,
It's
that's
so
fair.
hot in this room.
It is hot. Has that the Grim Reaper?
I made that exact joke. Yeah. When I fucking came in here, I was like, it is hot as hell in this hot ass, funky ass room.
It's not the Grim Reaper. It's Draven seeing Glenn.
God, I'm losing it over the Gwyn is a princess theory.
Was that a running theory?
I don't know, but
confrontation.
But Desmond mentioned it, and I'm just sitting here like.
I guess the name was a little too fancy.
I mean, yeah, Guinevere is. I mean, it's literally the name of a.
She got flown in on a carriage, and then everyone in the guild hall went. When they saw her, what? Of course we think she's the princess.
I mean, to be clear, it was less
fucking Barbie.
more like kind of more side-eye in that regard.
Yeah, everyone saw Gwen.
Princess.
Guinevere got hit with the bombastic side-eye.
Bombastic side-eye.
I
have not thought about bombastic side-eye in a hot minute.
Bombastic side-eye.
By the way, just an update for the party. Laura is coming back. Her meeting took a little longer than expected because she needs to work out her GRs. She's going to be taking a little longer because she decided that she's going to not play from her car. So
real.
She'll be back
That's so real.
shortly.
Yeah.
We'll probably run whenever she gets here. We'll squeeze in Kirly's arrival to the guild, and then we're going to continue from the little character stuff that we're doing right now. By the way, checking in. How's everyone feeling?
That was like simultaneous. The fucking thumbs up.
Well,
real. Just letting you guys know, we are probably not going to be going any later than 10. So mostly because Aidan needs to get to acapella.
By the way, Tommy, did you see the thing that the DMs I sent or no?
Let me check those. I'll listen to that later.
Rad.
Oh, and Kylie, I got that.
Good. I'm just making sure.
Of course, I appreciate it. If / when Sunny and Des get back, I am ready to continue.
Also, I gotta say, the music goes hard.
Right now, I'm just kind of like shuffling Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team Deluxe OST. I have a few like specific themes that I chose like at the very beginning, but this is working quite well for me. I'm not mad. Lovely. All right, are we ready to jump back into it?
Yeah.
Hooray! We're going to cut to Lowen real quick in that case. Lowen, you get things situated. A little bit of like casual small talk with Katrina and Apollyon talking a little bit before finally you get your stuff sorted out. There's really nothing else nothing else that needs to be done. You catch your father kind of like looking out sort of wistfully out of the window before he turns around, and you see that Apollyon is full crying. You see he's just like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, are you all right?
Oh.
Is there anything I could?
No, Lowen, I'm just so proud of you. I'm so happy to have the honor to bring you to such a special place. I am just so unbelievably proud of you.
Well, it's because you did so much for me, and not just you, Basil, Juliana, Peony, you all helped me get here. This isn't just my victory; it's yours as well.
Well, own that victory, Lowen. You're going to have an amazing time, and if you don't, please let me know. You're welcome to write anytime, and should anything happen, should you feel as though this program isn't for you, do not feel like you have to remain. It all comes down to what you wish to do. That is your decision to make. But Lowen, I am so excited for you.
Of course. And I'll do that if that comes up, but I really think this is going to be good for me, right?
I hope so. Just don't forget to be honest with yourself, Lowen, alright?
I hope things go well at the repository. It is hope everything.
I think I'll be fine. I'm going to put some feelers out for someone to take over in the meantime, but you will be missed, Lowen. And of course, I don't know when they're going to be stopping by, but please, when you see Basil and everybody else, send them my love, right?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
You see, as he mentioned, give me an insight check real quick.
Ooh. Yo. So close to the nat 20, but oh god. 25.
Oh my god. 25. As he says the name Basil, you can't really see like him blush underneath the blue fur, but you do see like a little like giddy, a little like rush of giddiness flashes over him. Anyway, yes, I suppose it's time for me to get going then. I'm probably going to stop by the Guildmaster's office just to send my loves and my regards.
Right,
But
of course.
please keep me in the know, all right?
Absolutely. I'm gonna miss you, Dad.
I'm gonna
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You hug your father goodbye. He's like, as you're doing so, Katrina is looking at you two from the corner of her eye, like, should I leave or?
You're good. You're good. I'm sorry if we disrupted you. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I just wanted to make sure. As finally Apollyon pries himself away. Love you, son. Kisses you on your forehead and is going to wave to Katrina before one last wave to you, closes the door behind him. Your dad's really nice, Katrina says, looking over at you now.
He's the best, yeah. I'm really lucky.
Can I ask a weird question real quick?
Yeah, of course. Sure.
You're like an adult, right? I mean, I know pretty much you're supposed to. Everyone at this program is. I thought.
I know. I seem young. I still get people thinking I'm a lot
dude,
younger
look at
than
me.
I am.
Like I get the same thing.
Yeah, right. I'm
19.
19.
You're 19?
Yeah. I know. It's
You're older than me? Okay, sorry.
how much older than you? How much?
I'm only 18. I turned 19.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not that much older than you.
Weird question. I just thought your dad seems really like young. He looks really good for.
Oh well, he's not my birth dad, I suppose.
Oh, got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Want to see what I'm working on? She scooches over on her bed to make a little room.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna very gingerly pop on the bed to see.
You look down and you are almost a little overwhelmed upon laying your eyes upon what might be the most intricate map of a normal-ass town that you have ever seen in your life. Every location, every street. Oh yeah. I'm trying to get a feel for just everything that the woods has to offer. I know it's a kind of a weird little place. Just sort of mapping out where everything is, sort of optimize the sort of, streamlining everything as I get here. I'm from All Blue. That place is huge. So it's a little easy to keep track of everything. She like
Yeah.
points out a bunch of like storefronts and like where the is, waves out to like a huge ocean of trees surrounding the map itself. Everything else is basically woods. I mean, I know a lot of other people like live out there, but yeah, I mean, I know the woods are kind of hard to chart too. I mean, you kind of know what I'm sure you know what the sort of deal is with this place. Kind of like mystery dungeon, but not really. Yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for all that. You know, I'm here for navigational stuff. So sort of getting a feel for like, you know, map making and all that.
Oh, that's really cool. That's such a cool niche for you to do with this kind of work. That's really interesting.
There aren't a lot of like active map makers out there. I think a lot of people in this sort of in industry, I guess, like in this sort of like circle, focus a lot more on like the exploration itself, and that's all great. But I think, you know, sooner or later someone has to learn how to actually navigate a mystery dungeon, right?
Oh, of course. Oh, if you could like figure out how to like actually like figure out how like the mystery dungeon works and how you could accurately, no, that's really interesting.
I want to be the first to figure it out.
I think you will. I think you've got a lot of experience already, it looks like.
Yeah. Where are you from, by the way?
Personberry.
Personberry, yeah. That's only like an hour away from here, yeah?
Yeah, it's not that far. Just it was a nice, easy train ride here.
Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've heard the name before. It might have been on the news a few years ago. Whatever. Small place, right? Doesn't really seem like it doesn't have any like guilds there, does it?
I live sort of like outside, like kind of the outskirts. My dad, he owns like a sort of rest stop for explorers sort of deal. So I mostly just got like.
Wait, is your dad? Was that your dad? Does he run the R&R?
Yeah.
No kidding. Small world. I haven't been to Personberry itself, but I remember my dad took me there once when I was younger.
Oh my goodness! How? At what point? How long ago was that?
Oh, I mean, I was still a Pichu. I don't really remember it all. It was a while back.
And probably wasn't been around for when you were stopping by, but that's really cool.
Yeah. So anyway, Curious Woods, right? And she continues sort of talking your ear off a little.
I'm trying to best as I can receive it all. Like, probably not completely getting every detail, but I'm trying so hard.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. We're gonna cut to Aldo real quick. We're gonna change the music because this is just looping every like 30 seconds. Yeah, this works. Aldo, if you are still in your room, like you said, what do you think Aldo's getting up to right now?
I think there's a certain element of like getting stuff situated, but Aldo didn't come with any bag. So there's just moments where Aldo goes into his shell and like 5 minutes later will come back with like a stack of books or like a poster that's like comes really long out of his shell and like hangs it on the wall. It's usual spit, really sticky. Because he's a slime.
Hold on, Sunny, write that down. Aldo has sticky spit.
Anyway.
Not the Hawk Patooey!
Actua, anyway.
No.
Sliggoo that thing! Anyway.
Banned.
Sliggoo that thing!
Banished. What the fuck?
It's over, guys. I'm leaving. I'm out.
Hell on that thing.
Anyway. Sludge on that thing. Anyway.
No.
At a certain point, as you're getting things situated up here, decorating and getting everything situated, you hear the door open behind you, and you hear a voice from the doorway. Oh, shoot. You turn around and you see a burly-looking crocodile standing in the doorway. you see that this is one of the most beaten up people that you have seen in a good while. His arms
He
and like
just got beat up.
Oh no! Well, no, not. Oh, Laura's back. Laura. Spare party member, ma'am. There she is. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
So glad that you're back. We can actually see you now.
I'm in a home. That's great.
Yay. Look at you, not in a Muhlenberg dorm. You're so much better than all of us.
I don't have to pay for laundry.
Disrespectful.
There goes Aidan.
The only person, me and Kylie. I thought the only person still held hostage, or laundry is held hostage.
Kylie, do you have to pay for laundry at your school?
Hell no. What?
That's what we've been fucking saying for like 5 years.
What? You guys have to pay for laundry? That's insane.
Yeah, it costs $3 to do a wash and dry.
Oh my god,
It's
no.
more
We
now.
got, like,
Sorry,
we
I
got,
just-
like,
It went
rows of
up?
fucking- I have
They
the
made it
laundry
more
on my
expensive.
floor. It's awesome.
I'm
It's
losing all
$1.75.
pretty much with the Dambro. That's crazy face. Like,
I mean, I also don't have to wear shower shoes, and most of my
I don't
food
do
comes
that.
from home. So really,
all right. Before Aidan starts crying, we're gonna
You in my showers in my dorm.
Yeah.
Aldo, yeah, you see standing in the doorway, this burly croconaut who doesn't look like he's suffered a lot of recent injuries, but oh god, my AirPods just died. Damn it.
Okay, question. Am I echoing at all?
Not anymore, really. I don't think.
I hope it stays like that. Cool.
Okay.
AirPods on charge. Ooh. Anyway, as I was saying, this crocodile doesn't seem like he's suffered any injuries, but you see that there are injuries from like recent-ish that he sold. Like,
Got it.
Going across his arms, and like you see, his face is laden with like scars. He looks a little more like beastly, a little more monstrous than other like crocodile. You've seen a couple crocodiles before. You see, there's just this sort of like steely. There's this steely look in his eyes as he like stretches in, dragging the end of a great sword on the sort of on the floor behind him. Hold on. So if I talk like this, does my audio stop jumping?
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay. Well, that sucks. We will do without music for a little bit, I guess. Not the end of the world. Aldo, you see who you presume to be your roommate, Rufus, standing in the doorway, looking a little weirdly, looking like he wasn't expecting someone to be here, even though this is not a single. He's like,
Hello.
hey, Aldo? Okay.
Aldo, yeah. And you are?
Rufus.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna drop this off real quick. Turns away, sets the greatsword against the armor rack. Picks up a couple, stands at the armor rack for a little, like the weapons rack a little bit, like debating whether or not he wants to take anything. Before you see he slips a dagger into a satchel that he's holding. Yeah, well, see ya. Turns around, walks.
Love it. Also, see ya. I think Aldo is pleased with his roommate agreement. My roommate's never home. Great. Giving me freshman year, like, oh, interesting.
Fantastic. We're gonna cut away real quick as we're gonna cut back to the front of the guild. We're gonna cut back to Kirly now that you are back with us. Kirly, the arduous hike from one forest to another begins to draw to an end as you find yourself finally breaking through the tangles of this labyrinthian forest and stepping out in front of this sprawling guild building, laden with a few flights of stairs out, connected to this path in the town of Remnant. You see up the stairs, there's this massive building of like black wood and stone, with like purple like dyed windows. There are Pokemon of all kinds everywhere. Some of them wearing, you see the sort of like badge of the Titan's Coven itself is a single like magenta eye and like a pool of darkness. You see a lot of those badges around as a couple of people like go to and fro, kind of like going about their business as usual here in the guild. You hear your father Remus go, "All right, Kirly, do you know if there's like anywhere for check? Is anywhere that's for check-in, or should we just head up?"
I guess we just head up.
We'll find someone sooner or later. And sure enough, you head up the stairs, and at a little rickety wooden table that's set up just kind of like perpendicular to the doors of the guild, you see a sort of like thin-looking Monferno leafing through what looks like a magic item catalog. His feet kicked up on top of the table. Looks over at you, snaps it shut. Oh shoot! Hey, are you here for apprenticeship check-in?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Can I get your name real
Kirly?
Kirly. Awesome. Kirly the Kirlia. You hear your mom, Rosalia. Yes, Kirly the Kirlia. Any other questions? Sorry, ma'am. Okay, yeah. Anyway, you see the Monferno. You see she's got a little name tag that says Raphael, she/he. Tosses you the key to your room. You're going to be all the dorms for both apprentices and like members of the guild are going to be on the bottom. It's kind of like the bottom first floor. You are going to be room E, as far as like the apprentice stuff goes. I think your roommate's already checked in, so you'll maybe run into her at some point. But yeah, just so you know, I was part of the program last year. I was one of the graduating apprentices, and I'm still here. So if you want to talk like guild stuff, if you have any questions, just let me know, or you can find one of my teammates. Look for either me or look for an Ambipom or an Electric. Those two are the other members of my team. So yeah, any questions or?
Nope, thank you.
Awesome. Sorry about the name. Bye. As you walk away, Rosalia mutters something that you would not repeat to anyone else under her breath. As you swing open the doors, instantly you are hit with what feels like 1,000 voices and like so much noise and hubbub going about this sort of main hall of the guild. It is a big room. It is one part lobby, one part sort of like recreation room, one part dining hall maybe. You see it's laden with like bulletin boards on one wall. There are like long tables that seem to sort of have a sort of like cafeteria vibe. Just beneath the tinted windows, Pokemon of all types, most of them bearing the badges or the colors of the Titan's Coven. Some of them sitting around enjoying lunch, some of them talking over like maps or like sheets of paper. Some just headed from one room to another in some kind of rush. You notice right away at the back of the building, you see a staircase leading downwards with a little sign in unknown lettering that says apprentice and guild member and apprentice housing downstairs. Great. Are you gonna head down, or is there anything that you want to do while you're here?
I just want to find out who my roommate is.
Lovely. Okay. You cross through the guild. You notice a couple people like waving at you or just generally acknowledging, hey, another apprentice. As you hear your parents talking very quietly to one another behind you, before you set yourself upon the steps. While you're heading down, you do brush past this a crocodile that's a little bit taller than you. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. Sorry. Walks around, sidesteps you and your parents as he walks away. But you head down the corridor and you eventually see that the rooms that are closest to the stairs are ones belonging to other guild members, with unfamiliar names like brazened upon the doors. All the names on the doors themselves, like you would normally, you know how you'd expect like very basic like name tags made of paper for like college housing. This is like very ornate, like gilded lettering. Someone has put a lot of effort into the aesthetic of these signs. As you see when you approach your room, your little dorm, room E, is laden with two names. You see yours, Kirly, spelled in green lettering, just below another name spelled in red, Flicker. The door is currently closed.
Do I have a key?
Yeah, you have your key.
I open the door.
It's so true. You open the door, and you see currently the room is like, first of all, pretty big, all things considered. There's an ample amount of size to the room as a whole, giving you kind of like splitting up the room into two like distinct sides where like both folks can have sort of like their very separate, little corners of the room. You see the one that has already been occupied has already been decked out. There are posters of like famous explorers and legendary Pokemon and like little maps of Talis all over the right side of the room. Where you see a wooden desk currently being occupied by a sort of sprightly looking insect Pokemon with red carapace and four arms. You see she's wearing a bright blue bandana and a little amulet shaped like a ladybug. Her hands are like wrapped with sort of like training tape, you see. As you see, without even looking up at you, the Ledian just says, "Hello."
Hi.
You're Kirly, I imagine.
Yep.
You see Flicker turns her head around, gets a very quick look at you, kind of like looks you up and down. You'll suffice. You're welcome to move in.
Thanks.
Your parents are you hear your mother from behind you. Flicker, it's very nice to meet you. Yes, you too. Again, without even looking behind her. Yeah, Kirly, you start getting your stuff. How much stuff have you brought with you from home, Curl?
Several leaf green dresses.
That's about
One
it?
outfit. I'm a cartoon character.
So true. I'm getting like the image of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid where Greg opens his closet and it's all white shirts and black pants.
That is exactly what my closet looks like, just green dresses instead.
Love that for her. You get your closet situated, sort of set up whatever like arcane like spellcasting components and little focuses that you have, until finally you get everything situated with your parents. You see Rosalia and Remus kind of look between one another. Kirly, you have a wonderful time while you're here. Please be sure to write. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to make things a little easier on you while you're gone. And we will let you know if we hear anything about the forest.
Thank you. I'll miss you.
Oh, honey. And your mom kneels down and wraps you in a hug. Have fun, all right? That's the most important thing.
I will.
Cut to cheek, kind of like gives it a little pat before she nods to Remus. We've got a hike ahead of us, so the two of them with one last wave, bid you farewell, close the door behind them, leaving you alone with Flicker in the sort of mildly uncomfortable silence that her presence brings. What is that?
So what's all the stuff on the walls?
Oh, it's my memorabilia. I am studying the histories and careers of fantastic explorers out there in the Talis region before me. One day it'll be me on those posters.
That sounds cool.
You said your name was Kirly?
Yes.
Turns back to her notebook. Wait, Kirly the Kirlia?
Yes.
Interesting. Turns back to her stuff. Yeah, is there anything else you want to say to Flicker while she's here, or me?
No.
Cool. She sucks. Fantastic. Okay. So, at some point, by the way, Kirly, while you're in your room, at a certain point, like a few minutes later, you hear a little knock on your door. Guild staff, is it all right if I come in?
Yes.
The door opens, and standing in the doorway, or a little bit outside of the doorway, they're a little big, is a sort of hunchbacked-looking Gudra. You see that they're wearing a very ornate lavender cardigan, holding like a lot of like they got like a quill in one hand, a clipboard in another. Hello, you're Kylie, yes?
Yes.
Flicker, hello. Flicker just goes, hello, Deputy Guildmaster. Well, I just wanted to stop by to introduce myself. My name is Glenn. I've been sending you letters. I'm sure you've heard at this point. I am one of the deputy guildmasters here at the Coven. I just wanted to stop by and just check in, welcome you, first of all. I wanted to just let you know that I'm acting in the role as advisor for all of the apprentices here for like housing. So if there's any changes that can be made, any accommodations, or if you're just looking for someone to talk to, I will. When I'm not in any meetings, I will be here. That is only like a third of the day, but I digress. You see they kind of like turn towards your side of the room. Kylie, are you a druid?
Yeah.
Fascinating. What circle are you studying? I couldn't help but notice the regalia. You're in the right direction, yeah.
Circle of God, was it Earth or something?
I think grassland, right?
My sheep. I think so, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. I'm a little bit similar. I'm going to be kind of handling a lot of the magical practitioner side of things when it comes to some of the sort of master classes. I'm a druid as well, so I've been doing it for quite some time. So if there's any teaching that I could get some help with, or provide my help with, I will be here. I am happy to be a resource as you need.
Thank you.
Right. Well, if any question, do you have any questions, or are you right? I will leave you alone then. Nice to meet you. I will see you. I don't know if Raphael told you, but we're going to be. You're off the hook until around dinner time, should you be interested at least. That is when Guildmaster Lennox is going to be back to introduce herself. So, and that'll be sort of the start of orientation a little bit. It's gonna more so kick into gear a little later, so people have time at least to get settled. But yes, if you end up attending, I will see you there. Nice to meet you again, Kirly. You too, Thicker. Goodbye. Okay, goodbye. As they turn around and leave. With that, so I would like to ask, is there anything that anyone here is interested in pursuing or looking to do around the guild while they're here? I think my AirPods are working again. Just gonna check.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yay, music's back.
Hooray!
I think the silence really punctuated the vibe of having Flicker in their room.
Yeah, real.
Flicker removes all music from the room.
I fucking love Flicker.
Same.
What a menace. What a menace.
He sucks. I love her so much. Transfem girl tail for the win.
Let's go.
So, touching base with everyone, first of all, Draven, is there anything that you want to do while you're kind of like with the few hours that you have before the guild is expected to meet up, or are you just going to kind of be laying low for the time being?
Probably just gonna be laying low. Probably is like thinking like, who the fuck is my roommate? But other than that, probably just taking a nap, setting up his stuff, what have you.
Great. Your roommate doesn't show, I will say. Seems to be late, caught up somewhere. I will say, Gwyn, neither of your roommates seem to be getting here just yet.
Good to know. That was one of the first things I was going to ask.
We'll get to you in a sec. Aldo, or Aidan, is there anything that Aldo's going to do other than kind of like chill in his room/shell, or?
I think he journals. he's like also has a lot of names. I don't think he's good with names, but he's like jotting down names and characteristics about them that he's observed. I think there's like a little note like, this person talks a lot, I don't like it. And then there's a Draven note, I like this guy.
That's so
Quiet, I like this guy. Quiet to the point, efficient, I like this guy. I think that's what it says. And then I think he has one of the little secondary book. It's like social etiquette for meeting new people. And he's like studying.
Oh, Aldo, you little freak.
It's like, hello, my name is Aldo, and he says a fun fact about himself. But it's like not that much of a fun fact. It's like, my name is Aldo, I have a shell. Like he's doing what the book is telling him to do and not a word different.
He's such a loser. I love him. He's just like me for real. He's prepping for icebreakers. So true. Icarus, is there anything that you would like to do? Matisse leaves the room at some point, finally, leaving you kind of to your own devices. Be nice!
I don't get the sense that he's particularly interesting, so I don't look through his stuff. But I do. Sorry.
Crazy thing to say.
I would like to leave the room.
Cool. Is there anything in particular that you're going to be interested in doing?
I think I'm kind of just exploring, seeing where stuff is. I don't know if we have like a class list, but like seeing where like we would be sparring, training, attending lectures, just kind of.
Cool. We'll address that once I just check in with everyone else. We're gonna do a sweep and then do what the things that people want to do. Speaking of people, Lowen, is there anything in particular that you would like to do with the bit of free time that you have before dinner?
I think Lowen is really just going to vibe with Katrina. I think Lowen's perfectly like, he's very happy to like have someone who is just like, oh, ready to like chat, talk, like, and he can just kind of match their energy. And I think he's like, now he's found someone that he's been able to talk to and have like a good conversation with. He's kind of letting that sort of like, oh, he's letting himself get comfortable and like easing the nerves that he's had.
Lovely. Guinevere, is there anything that you are interested in doing now that you're here?
So I feel like Gwen would wait a bit to see if any of her roommates come, and when she kind of realizes, okay, they're running late, she's probably going to like just try to go out and just like get like meet as many of the other apprentices as she can, but she's not gonna like go to people's rooms and be like, hi, I want to talk to y'all. Basically, she's just gonna get acclimated. If she runs into anyone, she'll talk to them.
Lovely. We'll do that in just a second. And finally, Kirly, aside from getting yourself situated and sitting in the silence of your room with Flicker, is there anything that you want to do around the guild now that you're here?
I want to get away from Flicker.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Is that it? Do you just want to leave the room?
That's it. This is getting weird.
That is so real. Here's what I'm gonna say. Kirly, after a little bit, you're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out of here. Get up, leave your room. Just as you see one of the rooms kind of across from a little bit further down the hall, one of the doors open there, and you see a tall armor rouge step through the door. Quinn, you see this Kirlia with a very full, like, leafy green dress, sort of stepping a little awkwardly out of her room. The two of you lock eyes.
Oh, hi there. Name's Guinevere. You can just call me Gwen.
I'm Kirly the Kirlia.
Hey. No, Gwen's not an asshole. She wouldn't think that the name's weird. Well, it is very nice to meet you, Kirly. And she's gonna like hold out a hand for a handshake.
Nice to meet you too. And I also shake her hand.
I want you to know that she has like an alarmingly strong grip, but you can tell that she is not aware of that fact.
Ow.
Oh, sorry about that. Here, let me just Could I not using a spell slot quote unquote heal the hand?
Yeah, but we'll call this like a little flex.
Yeah,
as
hold
you,
on one sec.
Yeah. Kirly, you feel a little bit of like warmth coalesce through your hand as the sort of dull pain of your hand getting crushed is instantly gone.
Thank you.
No problem. My big thing's fixing things, so kind of comes with the trade.
This is going better than my other interaction today, so.
Well, I'm happy to be part of that interaction.
As you guys are talking, Icarus, you're looking to get out of the room a little bit.
No.
You sort of, without even opening the door, you just like, sort of like just faces the wall. And instantly you are met with the sight of two of your fellow apprentices sitting in the middle of the hall. Where Guinevere and Kirly, your attention is immediately caught by the sight of a massive haunter emerging from the furthest room down the hall.
We want a ghost wider than the door just fucking float out.
I'm feeling very small right now.
Oh.
Don't worry, Kirly. You're like 2 feet tall.
Hi.
Oh, hi there. Name's Guinevere. You can just call me Gwen.
Right. You?
I'm Kirly.
Right. I'm sorry, the laugh is out of character.
I'm sorry, you just sound like you're on the verge of tears. It's so funny.
Me?
No, I know. I love the choice, is what I'm saying. Genuinely, it's so good.
I wasn't expecting Kirly to be this much of a girl fail, and I mean that in the best way possible.
I'm sorry. Icarus doesn't laugh. Right. Icarus. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
I like to think that Gwen goes for the handshake, but her hand just phases through.
I have a corporeal form,
Oh, apologies. I go in and I try again. I wait this time.
Icarus tries to shake her hand. Doesn't work.
I'm gonna say like you make yourself corporeal long enough for Guinevere. Now you know what solid gas feels like. Good luck trying to figure what that means.
Hell yeah.
I have a headcanon that he can't shake hands with normal types. It just doesn't work. It just passes through.
Thank God I'm fire psychic.
Thank God Lowen didn't go in for the handshake.
Right. And he holds his hand out to Kirlia. Or Kirly as well.
Hi.
We're just calling her Kirly at this point.
I'm sorry.
Kirly.
Also, Kirly, I will say, you do notice Icarus is a shiny haunter.
Yes. It's not this blue. But otherwise, he looks exactly the same. Right. Well, I'm planning on exploring the building, so I will leave you to your conversation. Sorry to interrupt.
No, don't think of it. You're all good. Think nothing of it.
Right. Well.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's leave.
I have an idea. Let's leave. Great.
The dire music starting immediately.
We're gonna touch base with we're gonna follow Icarus a little bit. So is there anyone in particular around the guild that you want to look around, or are you more or less going to just like float around a little bit?
How much would Icarus have been prepped on this building and this, like, the premises?
Might have been given a basic layout, but it hasn't been given a formal. Yet, at least.
Hasn't been
Given a formal tour just yet.
I don't think there's anywhere in particular that he's looking to go at this point. I think he's just looking around, maybe looking for offices, looking for like departments. Actually, no. Specifically, magic department. Give it to me.
Great. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm great at those. Please don't do this to me. I rolled a nat 1 for a 4.
No, that's the first nat 1 of the game.
Go chronicle that, BRB.
How do I think I got the first nat 1 in Crony as well, which is so funny.
That would check out. We're gonna ignore your luck in my string of games. Icarus, you're shit out of luck. Maybe it's because you haven't really been paying much mind to much else other than what is important right in front of you since getting here, but you realize you have no idea where to go unless you talk to somebody.
So true.
I will say, as you kind of like find yourself walking into like wrong room after wrong room, would you like to give me a perception check separately from the roll that you just made?
Sure. Not much better. That's a 5.
Yeah, you just hear a lot of voices around you.
All of my dice
don't really pick up on anything particularly interesting or notable, until you hear, excuse me, are you lost? As you look down and you see, standing at I'm gonna look up the height real quick, but standing at a whopping, actually taller than I thought, whopping 2 feet tall, you see a very like 2 feet tall. Standing at a whopping 2 feet tall, you see a very frilly looking mime junior. You see she's got a little Aidan. Panic instantly. You see she's got a little like cerulean bow tie that kind of matches the color of her little hat appendage thing. And you see in both of her hands she's got a tiny little scepter.
Any name tag?
You see it just says Carla, she, her. You look like you were sort of wandering.
Well, that would be an accurate assessment. I was just exploring.
But of course, is there anywhere in particular that you're looking?
Is she giving me this amount of stats that you're portraying?
Give me an insight check.
Am I not supposed to be here? Oh my god, please let me roll above a 10. Good lord. Give me something. Ask and you shall receive. I rolled an 11 for a 12.
Crazy. On a 12, you kind of get the sense that she's just kind of like that. Like, just very fussy and like a little pretentious. You see Deputy Guildmaster is written beneath her pronouns upon her name tag. Important person. You do clock that.
Important. Yes, it has been clocked. Yes, actually, looking for the magical studies department. I was hoping to familiarize myself with the layout.
Oh, but of course, there will be a tour happening with the apprentices later after dinner, but I'm hoping to show you around a little bit as if you need to get a little more comfortable. I'm Carla, by the way. I'm one of the deputy guildmasters here at Titan's Coven. Right-hand woman to Guildmaster Lennox herself.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Let me write that shit down. Hello, Carla.
Hello. Looks down at hand. Carla.
Present.
Hello, Carlos.
Hello, Carla. Carla. To headmaster, basically. Okay, great. I would greatly appreciate that, Carla. Thank you. My name is Icarus.
But of course.
Nice to meet you.
Icarus. Very, very interesting. Very, very, very lovely. Love the little color palette going on, by the way. Very, very eclectic.
Like, is she referring to my skin? My gaseous skin?
I said, like, she No, okay, not like that.
No. I'm not wearing
you're,
clothes.
You're shiny, yeah.
No, I know. Okay. And Chris is kind of taken aback by that for a second. Oh, thank you. I
right
can.
This way.
I can respect that your bow tie matches the rest of you. I can't imagine that would have been easy to color coordinate.
You're such a charmer. All right, come on. She hobbles hobbles down down the hallway. You see, she yells a couple things like some passing guild bastards. No running in the hall. Before you make it to a little what looks like to be a little magic repository kind of. This classroom is mostly used for some of the master classes that relate specifically to magic. You'll find also some spellcasting components. Looks like someone's in there, actually. You see she opens the door, and Icarus, you immediately see standing at the far end of the room are a pair of much taller Pokémon. One of them, a sort of like hulky-looking Grimmsnarl, who you see has got like a big old like green bandana, holding like a map in one of his hands. The other is a kind of short-looking chestnut, who you see is wearing sort of like a blue like beanie cap, kind of like hugging a shield against his chest. You hear Carla go, "Oh, Samson, Andreas, are we interrupting on anything?" You see Andreas opens his mouth to speak, but Samson, the Grimmsnarl, simply goes, "No, Deputy Guildmaster, we're just this one." He gives Andreas a look. The chestnut just kind of, we can be out of your way. Yes, that would be appreciated, thank you. Desmond, chill. Icarus, insight real quick.
Yippee! God, I'm really like fucking garbage. 9.
They seem to be having a sort of heated conversation. You don't really know anything about what exactly it might have been, but you can collect that neither of them look particularly happy right now.
Right. Can I kind of block what Carla's relationship to these two people is?
On a 9, you can sense that she's a superior, and that's about it.
Gotcha. But they both work here?
You spot badges upon their persons. You can tell that they're members of the guild, yes.
And, like, just moves to the side even though he doesn't have to let them pass, and just like, nice to meet you.
You too. Samson just kind of like sits to the side before he leaves. Andreas, eyes down, head low, just kind of, and very hurriedly leaves. You shouldn't mind those two. Their team has been having a bit of a rough patch these last couple of months.
Oh no.
Not just between you and me. One of their members went missing recently, and they've only just gotten back out in the field, but they've been dealing with that fallout.
Oh no.
Anyway, though, regardless, you will find anything that you need as far as like spellcasting components or lots of what me and I'm sure you've met Glenn. The two of us sort of interchangeably teach like these sort of handle the Arcane Studies program, so we'll be working very closely. Are you a, don't tell me, wizard?
Can I? Wait. I don't remember what I said. Did I say wizard? No. I did.
Oh no, she's guessing.
Okay.
She's guessing or she's guessing wrong.
I couldn't remember if I lied about this. Sorcerer, actually.
Close enough. That seems a little closer to my expertise. So I'm sure we'll be seeing quite a bit of each other. She goes on to explain in universe, not using exact terms, but she more or less explains that she's a bard.
Gotcha. Well, I'm excited to work with you further.
Of course, you too. Well, if there are any other facilities that I can point you towards, then I would be happy to oblige. But in case you're acclimated, then I'll leave you to it. Though I wouldn't recommend lingering. These classrooms technically aren't supposed to be inhabited super often outside of actual, hours of operation.
Yes, spell components, etc. I imagine under control. Yes, I understand. I'll take a quick look around and then I'll be out of your hair.
Of course. It's really nice to meet you, Icarus. Before she turns around and bounces away.
Okay. And Icarus just kind of he's snooping. He's looking around. I don't imagine he's looking for anything in particular, just are there scrolls? Are there just, is it just materials?
Give me an investigation with advantage.
Well, that's a nat 20, so let's go for the 23.
Let's go! Getting on both ends of the spectrum here.
So did Oren.
Hooray!
Hooray!
So, Icarus, you do a deep, scouring of the room as a whole. The supplies room is, filled to the brim with, pretty much any spell components that you would need for a mission, though it does very clearly state these are for missions only, for missions and training. And given the very firmness of the warnings plastered all over the room, you can tell that whoever manages this repository is going to know if anything's been taken without them knowing. You see a couple spell scrolls as well, stuff for very vague sort of training spells. You see a couple of alchemy bottles and tools for making potions. You also find on a natural 20 a little box that is just marked sending stones, do not touch.
Sending stones? There's nothing else on the box?
Just you see a couple of crystals stacked in this little cardboard box.
It's open? Interesting. Can I make the assumption that the materials, it will be known if one of these gets taken?
You can certainly try and be careful.
I kind of want to take one. Does it say who they're... Does it say who? Are they just blank?
They're currently blank. They're blank save for you see that some of them are connected to one another.
Several of them or 7?
Several.
Several. Okay, in just pairs?
Yes.
I need to message you something.
Okay. I await your message. Do a flip.
Do a flip. I would like to take a pair.
All right. What's your sleight of hand modifier?
0.
Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. If you roll less than a 5, then you completely beef it and you're caught. If you roll anything between a 6 and a 15, you can take it without being caught in the moment, but maybe not necessarily able to cover up your tracks. 16 or higher, you make it as if they haven't been removed. 1 in 4 shot.
Okay. A 12.
Okay, so you look around, make sure that no one's like lingering in the door. Take a pair. You can add a pair of sending stones to your inventory. You kind of like sift them around a little bit. You realize there's no way to like really make it look like there haven't been any stones taken. So you just kind of pocket them.
Yeah, there's no like inventory written on the thing.
There's no inventory written on it, but there are not that many, that many stones in the box itself.
That's spooky. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Great. Is that all you want to do in the classroom, or is there anything else that you want to look at?
I think that's all he's gonna do.
Wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to do a little music change real quick. The hours pass by. Some of you rest from whatever journey you might have embarked on inside of your rooms. Some of you explore the premises a little bit, sort of just get a feel for the building itself. And some of you get up to a little snoobery. But whatever you might be doing, soon enough, the sun starts setting its course downwards as the hubbub of the afternoon begins to fade a little into the early hours of evening. Soon enough, everyone who, whether you are in your room or somewhere else in the guild, everyone hears the loud ding. Lowen, you see Katrina perseveres. I think that's the dinner bell. Want to go?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. So, Lowen, Aldo, Draven, I believe all three of you are coming from your rooms. All of you run into each other again. The two of you see Katrina for the first time, this little Pikachu with a backwards cap on. Hey guys.
Hello again. This is Katrina.
Katrina.
Katrina. Did I say that?
Katrina. Yeah.
Katrina.
That's Hurricane.
Anyway. Katrina vogues down the hallway.
No!
Lowen pokes.
Aldo's flipping through his etiquette book to say what to say to someone when they're voguing towards you.
They're just voguing there. Menacingly.
Yeah, the three of you, flanked by this teeny little thing, head upstairs. Kirly, Guinevere, you guys might be elsewhere in the guild somewhere. All of you soon enough find yourselves, you guys make it to the sort of guild hall first. You see that there's a table set just for the apprentices. There are 14 seats, sort of like 7 on each side. Draven, you see a very big one on one end of the table that you can only assume is for yourself. But the 6 of you kind of meet up. Anyone who hasn't encountered one another at this point would be meeting. So if any of you would be introducing yourselves, now is the time.
I was like, Gwen would be very very polite with her greeting, like shakes everyone's hands. I'm curious how everyone reacts to her shocking drip strength.
Shocking drip. You break all those hands.
Does Aldo even have bones to begin with? You're fucking.
He doesn't have bones. It goes really squishy in your hand. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like shaking like a stress cube. Like,
I'm imagining one of those like liquid like jelly tubes.
Yeah,
with like
yeah.
the stuff.
Oh my
in them.
god.
Yeah.
It takes everything for Gwen not to wince at the goo.
A trail of like.
I like your armor.
Oh, thank you. I like to think that she just sees the goo. It all just burns off her hand instantly. Just.
I think if you go to shake Draven's hand, and you said like very strong grip strength.
Yeah.
I think he goes to shake your hand, sort of registers this, squeezes his hand a little bit, like just gives a little squeeze and just goes, nice.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I guess we should sit down. Also, out of game, I know the big seat is for Draven. It would be really funny if Lowen sat there.
No, he's waiting for everyone else to sit.
Oh God, are Gwyn and Lowen gonna be in a nice off to figure out who's sitting first?
Lowen's gonna go. Hey, you can sit here. Sorry.
No, I insist.
Meanwhile, Icarus takes up 2 chairs, even though he doesn't need to sit. Fuck all of you.
He's floating.
One for me and one for my hands.
Menace.
I feel
I love him.
off the edge of a normal chair.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Boo,
I
Laura,
feel like Lowen and Gwyn just agree to sit down at the same time.
And my legs are just dangling off of a normal chair, and I can't really reach. Very small.
Same.
Katrina is making a very lively set of rounds towards everybody. Hi, Katrina. Oh my, wow, your armor is really cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh my God, your dress is so pretty. Wait, are those real leaves?
Yes.
Wow. Awesome. You eventually, the table starts to fill up a little bit. Flicker's the next to arrive from your room, Kirly. Doesn't really say much to anyone else. Kind of just like sets her plate down, like sort of waiting. You see, she sits right next to Guinevere. You know what they'll be serving here today?
I honestly do not know. Also, I'm Guinevere. Very nice to meet you. You can just call me Gwyn.
Pleasure.
I do extend my hand for the handshake. Just like to reciprocate or no?
She's staring directly forward. She doesn't notice it at first. Oh. Turn grip.
Thank you. Trying to figure out if it's a compliment.
As you're figuring this out, you hear from behind you. Well, I am as starving as a pad rat and within the middle of winter. As you guys see Batista start to trounce up. Anywhere that I should sit amongst y'all, or nice to meet you, by the way, Batista.
Question.
Guinevere? History check.
Oh, you got it.
History with advantage.
Ooh, with advantage, thank you. Ooh, I needed that because one of those was a 4. History, you said, right?
Yep.
Cool, 19.
Cool. You look up at Batista, see the Grumpig, and instantly at the same time, you both have this recognition dawn upon you.
As I live and breathe Batista!
Guinevere, what are you doing here?
Oh, well, it's finally time for me to leave the nest and, follow in his footsteps. You know how it is. I think she just fully, gives Batista a hug.
Oh, my lord, it is good to see you, girl. How's everything going down at the blacksmith? How's everything going down at the forge?
Oh, everything's been great.
Are your folks haven't run in while you're gone? Oh, no,
yeah, you know my folks. They're not around too often. But God, Arceus bless everyone over in Simmer Thunder. They've all pitched in to help while I'm out here doing the apprentice work.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything else from such good people out there. I never took you as the adventuring type. It's really as he sits down next to you, real nice, pleasant surprise to see you down here.
Likewise, honestly, I wasn't expecting to see too many folks from Simmer Thunder.
Yeah, tell me, I don't think I've seen Galahad since getting here. How's he doing?
Oh, he's doing all right. Yeah, I haven't run into him yet myself. I hope I see him soon. You know how he is. He's always pretty busy.
Right, yeah. You see, he turns out to everyone. Batista, by the way. Nice to meet all y'all lovely people. Finally, you guys just hear. Can I put my foot down here? You guys turn and see the Crocodile Rufus. Fully has brought his great sword to dinner for some goddamn reason.
Right.
Aldo looks at a page on his etiquette book that says "Do not bring weapons to the table," and opts not to say anything. No, he's about to say something, and he turns the page, and it basically says, "If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it." And he's like,
I love Aldo so dearly.
Although I love
What a
it.
freak.
I mean, hey, if we're being technical, fucking Gwen did just bring her entire armory with her.
Yeah. And I complimented your armor, and you complimented back, and all the way to the heart. So,
Actually, now I'm thinking, I don't even know if anyone at this table, and I mean in character, would know how an armorer's armor works.
As Rufus
Probably
kind of
not.
just like flops himself down at the corner of the table, like far into the table where no one else is sitting. The weird spaces at the table start to catch your eye a little bit. You notice that 4 of your other apprentices have been no-show so far. That changes in a few seconds as you hear just like the stuttered flap of wings. Oh, excuse me. I haven't missed the ceremonial dinner, have I? You guys turn around. Perched on top of the table now is a very disheveled-looking Dartrix, with the sort of like the normal like little like droopy little green bangs that it has are now tied up in sort of like a little ponytail at the top of their head. You see that they've got a quiver with like a really like wooden-looking bow sticking a little unceremoniously out of it. And you see that their normal, like, very, like, ornate bow tie is just, like, a bunch of leaves, like, autumnal, like, dry-looking leaves. He sort of just, like, looks around at all of you a little, like, skittishly.
Oh, I would... Out of game, I will die for them.
You haven't missed anything. It hasn't started yet.
Oh yeah, we're all just getting situated. Oh, I'm Gwen over here, by the way.
That's nice. Aspen, nice to meet you all. I am not, I suppose this would not be a surprise. I am living just outside of Remnant. I already kind of live in the Curious Woods, so I wouldn't really be living here at the guild. But it is wonderful to meet all of you. I'm just going to shimmy on over here. They bumping straight into Lowen in the process. I'm sorry, no, bump.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I feel like if you bump into Lowen, he would just be sent flying.
They are a Dartrix. They are the evolution of Rowlet. Fuck ass owl, as I like to call them.
Fuck ass owl.
Fuck ass owl, if you're out there.
He's right there.
I was having such a hard time imagining what the Dartrix looks like, but I've recalled.
I have to go.
Awkward teenage middle evolution.
They're all like that.
Really...
Oh, little
They're
asshole.
all like that. They're all awkward, and I love them all so dearly.
Tommy, I have a
Lovely.
question for you.
Hi.
Do I recognize Lowen?
Give me a history check, Icarus.
You're never gonna believe me.
Which
I
one
rolled
is it?
another nat 1.
Ah!
4.
Little freak. Fuck it, you know.
God.
Hi. You're sorry, just one is hello. Haven't met yet.
Is this at me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I'm Icarus. I assume no, absolutely not. I don't recognize this little guy. Right.
I'm not thinking like do I recognize him? I wouldn't be actively like thinking about that, I don't think.
Yeah, fair enough. As you guys are sort of like getting a little acclimated, empty seats still at the table, you guys hear a little bit more like from all around you, like from elsewhere in the guild. You see Glenn and Carla are just both standing near the front of the room. Glenn sort of keeping to themselves, sort of just looking around a little, sort of innocuously. Carla just calling out to like random guild members as they pass by, like, wow, your eyes look so sparkly today, like that kind of stuff. Until you all hear the sound of a door opening in the distance. You hear footsteps. Everyone falls silent in the room. As you hear footsteps coming down from the top floor. There's a second floor to the guild with a big old like spiral staircase near one of the corners. Coming down from the staircase, you see a tall, disheveled looking, sort of like mustelid looking Pokemon, adorned with black and white fur all over. Kind of got these like little arm warmer patches of gray across her forearms and like down her shoulders, striped fur running down the side of her face. You also see that she's wearing a sort of like almost like a bit of a tattered looking cape, just pure black. As she turns around, the purple eye of the Titan's Coven is brandished upon it. You watch as the Obstagoon reaches the bottom of the stairs, looks around, very sharp, like piercing red eyes, looks around at everyone. Her eyes fall upon the table with all the apprentices. As you see, she just goes, very quietly walks over to the front of the room, stands out in front of everybody, claps her hands together. Well, I'd hope you all aren't that scared of me. I mean, come on now. Laughter erupts throughout throughout the dining hall. As you can see, she's got a big old smile upon her face. Welcome, one and all. So lovely to have all of you here as per usual. Wonderful amount of numbers here. Great turnout, and I would like to take a moment to say hello and welcome to this year's apprentices for the program. Everyone give them a round of applause as like a smattering of laughter occurs there. Y'all are clapping for yourselves. I hope you're happy.
I like to think that one like goes to clap and then realizes, wait, this is about us.
I want to speak for everyone here at the guild when I say you got a long road ahead of you, but we're happy that you're here to take it. The name's Lennox. I'm the guildmaster here of the Titan's Coven. Have been here for about 20 years now, and it is my greatest honor to welcome all of you here to this wonderful guild. This is the biggest class that we have had in a good while here at the apprenticeship program. I believe got 14, though we're missing a couple of people. 11. You see she looks to her side at Glenn. Neat trick. 12. Go sit down with a smile on her face. You see Glenn kind of shrugs. Yeah, worth a shot. Standing in Glenn's place is a dark-furred fox-like Pokemon with long black and red hair, wearing a sort of like plaid-looking poncho, dark flowers adorning the length of her hair. Zor kind of smirks. I was honestly hoping I could hold out for at least a couple minutes. Not that stupid, but neat trick. Ronnie, right? Go sit down. You see the Zorg turns over to all of y'all, and faster than you could even blink, she is sitting right in between Guinevere and Kirly at the table. Yeah, honestly, I was thinking I could hold out a little bit, but, would have been funny.
You're Ronnie, right? I think you're one of my roommates.
No kidding. Yeah, you are?
Guinevere. You can just call me Gwen.
Nice to meet you. Kind of looking around. I am trying to figure out if I can pull something a little more long-term here. I'm trying to just scope things out a little, so don't mind me. If I disappear from the dinner table, you will know why. Kind of just scoping things out. As Lennox, just like a sardonic smirk on her face, just continues. Here at the Titan's Coven, we would like to emphasize the importance not only of learning, not only of growing, but failing here. The importance of not only having the experiences, but learning enough from them in order to both flourish and falter. That is the crux of all things truly learned here at the Guild. You are not exactly in for an easy journey. I'm going to tell you all that right now. But I can also tell you that all of y'all are here for a reason. We chose the 12 of you and your other fellow apprentices for a very particular reason, and that reason is that you showed us the potential and showed us the endurance that is necessary, crucial, to navigating the program such as this. And whether you choose to remain with the guild after the fact or you part ways with us, seeking out whatever new adventure lies beyond the Curious Woods, the truest honor of all of them is the honor of having gotten to meet it all. Isn't that right? And there's a smattering of yes from the guild. Now, as far as the program itself goes, and before she can continue, you all hear the door slam from the front of the guild. Everyone whips around. Lennox stops. Standing in the doorway, silhouetted by the sort of filtering of night from outside, is a Pokemon whose features you can't entirely discern here. You see a couple things. They're on the taller side, about Guinevere's height, maybe. Perked dark ears. You see a long scarf draping down the side of their body, and a little like flower poking out from one of their ears. You see that they stand there silently in the doorway for just a couple of moments. You see them look around before finally. I'm so sorry. Am I interrupting anything? Sorry, I didn't mean to be late. You see, stepping out into the light, you see, I'm gonna pull up an image here. You see a Pokemon of a shining golden fur, of a scarf of a deep red. You see that they've got like little feather earrings dangling from their ears, a little hibiscus tucked behind their right ear. You see that despite them not being nearly the biggest Pokemon in the room, they are holding themselves as they're trying to take up as little space as possible. They're a Pokemon that looks a little like this.
My baby boy!
They're called free thinkers.
Yeah, you see the Lucario's eyes are deer in a headlights wide. They realize just how late they got here. You hear Lennox only just bark out a laugh. No big deal, Nikolai. Come on, sit down. As a couple of guild members are like, yeah, welcome. Nikolai looks around, pants shitting terrified before he just, okay, as they sort of like rush over to the table, sitting on the far end of, are you guys apprentices too?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool, thank you. Sorry. You see that you hear them mumble a couple of apologies as Lennox kind of continues her spiel, talk about the program, just doing the more boring part of the speech. Before she finally, about 10 minutes later, well, that was a mild peril, so true. Well, with all that administrative nonsense out of the way, I'm sure I've talked enough. Y'all want to eat? And there's a cheer that overtakes the room. All right, Elias, get him out there. You see a tiny little Smeargle in like a long like gray hoodie. It starts pushing out a bunch of carts with piping hot food upon it. As Pokemon start getting up to serve themselves. We got a little dinner period here for people to talk, introduce themselves to one another. If there's anyone that people would particularly like to approach or generally say hi to, or people want to like give a sort of like scan across the room to see who's there.
I have two things I would like to do.
Yeah.
One of them is, well, how far is Nico sitting from me?
Nico found themselves sitting right across from you.
Okay. I think Draven is fully like, just like hands in on like a steak or something, and it's just like, oh, by the way, Nico, right?
Yeah. Hi. How do you know that?
Lennox said your name when you walked in.
Right. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
What's your name?
Draven. I think I like go to put out a hand, realize it's covered in some form of food, put it back, and go, I think we're roommates.
Oh, are you room D, right? I think I just got my key.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you. Looking forward to working with you guys. Yeah, there's a lot of people here.
I would shake on it, but eat it.
No. You're all good. So I'm not the last one here, and I there's how many?
So I think I'm missing.
Okay. Got it. Cool. Yeah. You see, they start just like very hurriedly eating their salad, keeping their eyes locked upon their leafy greens.
And then I have one more thing I would like to try and do.
I think I know. Can I ask everyone else before we get to that?
Yes.
Wonderful.
We can
Aldo.
do it last. It's fine.
Yeah. Is there anyone you would like to talk to, or any checks you would like to make while you're here? I said Aldo.
Oh, Aldo. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying all of you, or like
yeah.
I heard all. I think it needs to happen. Where's Flitter?
Where's who?
Flitter?
Flicker?
Flicker.
Flicker is. We'll say like she's like right next to you.
Hello.
Oh.
This needs to happen, guys. It needs to happen. They're gonna be best friends.
Are you going to say anything else, or?
I didn't hear you respond to me.
Oh, well, hello.
Hello. I'm Aldo. I'm a wizard at the divination school. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Flicker.
I think they sit in complete like happy silence next to each other. They're like, someone gets me.
Cut the fucking cameras, dog. Cut the cameras. I am gonna cry.
I think Flicker and Aldo are best friends now. I think that's just happened. I think they're now unfortunately like blood brothers.
So true. Is that it? Is that all you want to do?
I think I'm gonna make like I don't know if this is like a. I kind of want to size up the members of the guild. I obviously like know who like the leadership is now. However, I would want to know like the most sheer powerful members of the guild, in particular the apprentice class.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm thinking more or less along the lines of I want to like scan the guild for like not who's like the highest up rank wise. Who do I think is like the strongest in terms of like presentation, vibe?
Give me an insight check real quick.
Okay, insight is +5. 21.
21. You look around. You see a smattering of Pokemon of all sorts of sizes and shapes. You're not sure if you can really determine for sure, but there is a collective of 4 Pokemon who seem to be, doing very well off for themselves and also quite popular. You see a quartet of Pokemon sitting at the far end of one of the other tables. You do notice a couple familiar faces from before, a Tinkaton and Spafra. These were the folks who Icarus saw earlier. The Tinkaton wearing like some of the most ornate armor you've seen in your life, with a massive hammer sitting at her side. And a Spafra, not even sitting in a chair, just sort of like eating directly, like hands off from plate. You see they're joined by a sort of like scrawny looking Drapion with a little eye patch over one of his eyes, who, despite his imposing appearance, seems to be telling a very animated, very funny story to the rest of his teammates. You hear one of the loudest barks of laughter you have heard in your life as your attention turns to the person sitting at the table. You see an Incineroar wearing a red bandana over the top of his head, listening intently to his friend tell a story. This sort of like fire in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that leaning against his chair, you see a what is it? You see a little like mandolin.
like the instrument mandolin?
Yes.
He's a. Okay, I think I'll just. Interesting. And then, I don't think I'd do anything with that information other than record it. Those are like the strong members. powerful members. I think I just want to kind of size people up.
Yeah. You also do notice a Grimmsnarl sitting kind of like on the opposite end of the table next to a wistful-looking Xatu. You see just the two of them, kind of surrounded by other Pokemon, but you see that they're specifically like talking to one another. You can gauge that they're also teammates of some kind. There's an empty chair like next to them that seems to be saved for someone, but doesn't seem to be occupied at the moment.
Got it.
Great. Icarus. Is there anything that you wanted to do, or anyone that you wanted to talk to?
I already met Carla, and I know the other guy, Glenn, right?
Yeah.
I think otherwise I would just be doing something similar to Aldo, just kind of sizing up the who's who.
Cool. I'm going to say you do, having run into him before, you do catch Samson, the Grimmsnarl. Joined not by his Chestnut teammate Andreas, but rather with a different Pokemon, Xatu. I think it's hard to miss just how much space the Incineroar seems to be taking. He seems to be kind of like top of the totem pole. The way people keep stopping by to talk to him, and just the general confidence he oozes sitting at the end of that table.
I want to talk to that Incineroar. Not right now, obviously, but generally.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Lowen.
Yeah. I think Lowen in this moment, considering all of the bustling, there's like it's a big crowd and there's a lot of talking. I think he finds it's like his best moment to like talk to one person without getting a lot of attention on himself. He's gonna just kind of, after eating some, he's gonna like scurry on over to try to Lennox. Still around.
Cool. We'll run that in just a second then. Guinevere.
Hi.
Yeah.
I think outside of, just like, introducing herself to anyone else she hasn't yet of the apprentices, I feel like I want to make a check to see if there are prying eyes on me, so to speak.
Go for it, yeah. And
my other question is, with advantage, you got it. And my other question is, that was good. I said insight, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said insight, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure I added the right number. 24.
24. Okay, what was your other question?
Is Lennox available to talk to you right now?
We can have you talk to Lennox in a little bit, but I can answer the insight check real quick.
Yep.
You look around. It is very much like the general like controlled chaos of like having. You can tell that guild dinners are not usually this big. They kind of come with the territory, but like not everyone attends every single one. This one seems to be pretty special since it's your first. So
right.
You notice that a lot of people are just sort of like caught in the moment of like being there. But your eyes do find themselves towards Samson, the Grimmsnarl.
Mm-hmm.
And he is looking right at you. The moment you lock eyes with him, he looks down, murmurs something to the Xatu next to him, who you know her name is Thea.
Mm-hmm. Just went start shit. I'm debating if Guinevere starts shit right now.
You debate that. I'm going to go over to Kirly real quick.
I pretty much just sit there and look at the other apprentices and try and make sense of who's who.
So you're just like memorizing names committing names to faces and stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. So otherwise you don't really want to talk to anyone right now?
No, I definitely prefer to sit back and see how people interact with each other first so that I can find where I fit in.
Cool, gotcha. Let's check in with Lowen first. As And as like dinner starts to clear up a little bit, Guildmaster Lennox has been busy talking to like pretty much everybody and their mother, touching base with pretty much everyone. She does eventually find some time to start wandering over to the apprentice table. All right, folks, how's your first meal over here at the guild?
Good. Very nice.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, listen, we try to pride ourselves at having, if nothing else, if not half decent food. So her eyes kind of like graze over everybody before they land on Lowen. Well, I'll be. You're Pollyon's kid, aren't you?
Kind of embarrassed that this isn't a big group, but like trying to like be present, like
yeah, he's my dad.
Oh, well, listen, kid, I hate to break it to you, there is a no nepotism policy here at the Titans Coven, so you are going to have to pack up your stuff and go. No, I'm just touching you. Come on, come over here.
They say that in front of everyone.
Sunk.
Do they say that in front of literally everyone?
She does, but she's very obviously joking.
That's crazy.
You think Aldo understands any sort of nuance? Please.
Oh,
takes note of it. Never, baby.
Lowen is so like, if blushing can be seen across the fur, it's like he's
no.
No, come on.
Yeah.
We love ourselves. We love ourselves a next generation explorer. It's great to see you here. Polyon was one of my like best friends when I was here doing the apprenticeship program when I was younger.
Yeah, he told me to say hi to you when I got the chance.
Well, listen, kid, it's lovely to have you, and it's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Thank you. It's nice of you to say.
She kind of like stands up, starts to like get everyone's name, like introduce herself personally to everyone, until she gets to Gwen. You see, she lands at your chair. Guinevere, right?
That is correct.
That's fine, Matt. Nice to finally meet you. Heard a lot of good things.
Finally meet you in person as well. I'm glad.
What was it that you wanted to say to her?
I was curious if we could talk a little more privately.
All right, we can find that point a little later.
Okay.
All right. Draven, we're gonna cut to you real quick. What is it that you wanted to do?
I mean, come on. After seeing Veronica pull that stunt, he is immediately like, okay, so is Glenn here or is Glenn not here? Is going to see if Glenn is in the room.
Glenn walked in very shortly after Veronica was sent to her table, looking very confused as to what they have just heard. At some point, they do like wander over to Veronica specifically to give her flowers as far as pulling one over the entire guild. But Draven, your eyes are like locked onto Glenn, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do see you. Do notice you.
Okay.
It is across from the room, so they don't really make any acknowledgement other than that.
Yeah, I think all I'm trying to do here is see if I can find Glenn, get their attention, just give like a single nod of like a we will discuss this later, and then dig into some biscuits and or gravy potentially, because gravy goes hard.
Lovely. Anything else people would like to do before we move on with these little sidebars? Great. Things start to clear up a little bit as a lot of the guild members turn in for the night, leave the guild, or head to their quarters. Carla goes up to everybody. I hope you enjoyed your first night here. We're going to be having a little celebration later tonight. If you'd like to join us in the little deeper in the woods, you'll receive further directions from myself or Glenn a little later, should you wish to join us. But we have a little tradition here at the Coven, a little bonfire out in the forest to celebrate the incoming of new members of the guild. So we hope to see all of you there. Without waiting for anyone to respond, she immediately heads off.
Well, personally, I think that sounds lovely.
Ronnie just kind of nods. Yeah, I am going to get so fucked up later. It's official. As Draven, you eventually do notice that Glenn is like waving goodbye for nows. A lot of goodbye for nows to a lot of the other guild members who are leaving. Before they turn around, glance at you again. and just kind of like looks over to one of the side hallways.
I think I'm just gonna walk over to where.
Lovely. 1 second, please. Yay, we're changing the music for definitely no reason.
Yay! I love drama.
Introducing taste.
Oh no, I gotta.
Oh no,
it's not the double ads.
Not the double ad. I can't believe this.
Why are there puppets? I'm so upset. Okay, whatever. Please, God, put me out of my misery. I don't want to. I don't want to use Wix. Can have shit in Talis for real. Draven, you make your way over to the sort of side hallway. Glenn is sort of leaning against the side wall. Sees you coming over. It's good to see you, Draven. You see they walk over and sort of like give you as much of a hug as they can offer at this point.
This is what you're doing now, huh?
I was about to ask the same thing. How is? I mean, sorry, I saw your name on the phone and I forgot that I was British for a second. My apologies.
Happens.
It happens. Yeah, my bad.
The best of us.
Real.
I saw your name when Lennox had chosen everybody, and I wondered if it was the same one. But yes, I've been here since 6 years, 7 years.
Oh. Really, going through that message and helping people, huh?
For sure, yeah. I found my place, so it's great to see you here out of the flames and into the fire. I assume you're done, and how is life outside of Wormhole been?
Well, I got sent out, did the whole training thing.
Wait, you're still there?
Never left.
Right.
All right, but okay. Look, I know how that sounds, but I just.
So you're still training with him then?
Yes, he sent me out here to finally do some good, and I feel like I need to use that for actually get some experience and sort of get to live my life. And
you don't have to justify anything to me, Draven. I was just asking.
But I feel like, I don't know, at the very least, I know it seems weird to do the whole glancing thing and like be avoiding each other, and I don't want to have to do that. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere good. I don't think it's going to end it's not gonna end well. So look, I know it was a long time ago. I know you've moved on with your life, but I'm sorry. I'm serious. I did some shit, and I've done some shit, and I get that you don't have to forgive me. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just letting you know that I fucked up and I'm trying to do better. Whether that's all right with you is perfectly fine with me. I mean, you can never speak to me again, and it'll be perfectly okay with it. But I needed to let you know that I am sorry.
I appreciate it. I'm glad that you think you are, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Fair enough.
I'll see you.
Just gonna walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Glenn, thank you for the window. I appreciate it.
And without another word, they kind of turn around and head in the opposite direction. We are going to.
Bonfire time. Yippee!
What about
Lord
me?
have
You
mercy.
have a little Lord Grog!
We are going to cut to Gwen. As people start heading out, you see that your fellow apprentices are heading their separate ways. We'll check in on everyone else before we wrap up for tonight. You look around, you see Ronnie is heading off to her room. You see that they're talking very animatedly to Nico, of all people. Both of them heading downstairs. Katrina is more or less continuing to talk Lowen's ear off. It seems that people are already starting to forge some friendships. Gwen, you turn around and you see Lennox is still around.
So is Lennox just standing directly behind me this entire time?
No, she's off
Okay.
talking. She's been talking to other guild members. At one point, she touches base with Carla before she heads off to do her own thing. You see, she's about to leave. If you want to catch her,
Lennox.
Guinevere. What can I do for you?
No, I mean, outside of more formally introducing myself, I was wondering if you just had a minute.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to take us upstairs?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Can do. Come on. She takes you up the stairs and leads you into her office. Little, engraved plaque upon it, designating it as hers. You walk in, it's a very nice room. She's got her own, really nice black desk, a huge lecture with an entire map of Talis upon it. Loaded with, books about adventuring and, explorers gear. A lot of old photos. You see one of a younger Lennox as a Lanoon with a bunch of other Pokémon. One of whom you recognize actually as Apollyon, who Lowen mentioned was his father earlier. Another photo of her with two young-looking Zigzagoon and a Zongu standing next to her, all of them happy as can be. She gestures to a sort of cushioned seat opposite her desk. So, what part is he here, Gwen?
Well, I really wanted to properly introduce myself. I mean, I think around the guild I've been more heard of than seen, so figured it'd be good to properly put my face to the name. And guess sort of to clear the air a little, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for both of us.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. The reason you probably think I'm here is Galahad, yes. That is part of it, but it's not all of it. I want to do this. It's not just that, it's been months and I haven't heard anything, and
I know.
And pretty hard to hide it at home.
Genuinely, Gwen, I'm sorry. It's not the way I would like to be doing it right now, but at this point it's fallen into kind of beyond our guild's hands. It's in the hands of the authorities now, and if we had heard anything by now, we would have told you. You would have been the first to know.
I appreciate that. It's just
I want you to know that we have been looking, and nothing's turned up. I'm sorry that you haven't heard anything. It's unfortunately just between you and me. I really can't talk much about it. Just based off of guild policy. It's just how things go around here.
I understand. It's I don't know, it's a little difficult back home. It's a little hard to can I confide in you a little? I'll be honest, it took weeks before I finally stopped setting his place at the table. And poor Gawain, youngest, he sees Galahad like this shining beacon. I've been forging letters for months. It's getting a little hard to lie to his face. I want to find him, but if that doesn't happen, which I don't want that to happen. I don't want to not find him, but at the very least, I want to do right by him.
Well, I can tell you this. You're just as fine a girl as he said that you are.
Thank you, Lennox.
We have not ended our attempts to seek out his whereabouts, but things have had to progress along sooner or later, and the rest of his team, they have to get back out there sooner or later. I want you to know, Quinn, I am here to help you, and here to get to the bottom of this as much as you are. I'm on your side here. But
I appreciate it. Truly.
I just want you to know it's not us that we haven't been trying. That's all.
Thank you. It is a little relieving.
And for what it's worth, you see she picks up one of the frames, the one of her with her kids and the Zongoos. I've been there. So I know how hard it could be.
Thank you.
Listen, I would say if there's anything I can do, I would do it. I don't know if I'm allowed to, frankly, but keep an eye out. And beyond that, know that regardless of why you're here, or regardless of what other people are saying, you are just as much of a member of this family as he is.
Thank you, then. Truly, it means a lot. Well, I guess I need to get ready. There's that tradition thing that was mentioned at dinner, so.
Yeah, the bonfire. You should go. It'll be fun. Yeah, get to know the other apprentices.
Will do.
Yeah. No one's been giving you a hard time, right?
Well.
Oh boy.
Well, not really a hard time per se, but I think between you and me, I think the stags are a little frazzled to see me here.
I'd imagine them to be.
I wanted to say hi, but
Samson, Thea, Andreas, they're all good kids. They're dealing with a lot. Nothing that you've done to slight them, and if they try and act like that is, then I will be sure to have a nice long talk with whoever it is that's stirring things to begin with.
Thank you, Lennox.
I got you, kid.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Very well. Listen, go wash your face off if you can. You got a couple hours until you're expected out there, so take it easy until then, and let me know if you need anything, okay?
All right, will do. Thank you, Lennox.
Take care, kid. And you leave her office.
And I do.
We're going to touch base very quickly with everyone else. Do a little, thinking, feeling sweep, a little tradition in my games. So, we're going to start with Kirly. What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I think it's all very interesting, and I'm excited to see what I will learn to help my home.
Lowen, how are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Lowen is very glad that Katrina's there to talk, kind of keeps the tension, because after that little, even though it was just a joke from Lennox, there's been a nagging voice in the back of his head that's been going, You don't deserve this. You don't earn being here. You're gonna disappoint them. This is what's good. And it's just kind of been this kind of dark swirling thought, but he's been just trying to center himself with Katrina and try to really keep as much of the mask intact as possible.
Draven, off the heels of that tense confrontation, a tense reunion, a tense reunion with Glenn. What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Probably thinking that, I mean, that could have gone way worse. I don't think he was necessarily expecting full forgiveness, nor was he expecting to receive it in any way, but, I mean, hey, it didn't devolve into a screaming match, well, that's fine. I think he is appreciative of the accommodations that have been set, the chair, the window, all the shit, being like, wow, it's kind of nice that they're doing all this stuff. Appreciative of some good food and a bonfire, and kind of just like hoping that he doesn't scare the shit out of his roommate.
Yeah, you set it back into your room a little bit. Nico follows you in, kind of like sets up their things a little bit. They have not gotten even to unpack until now. They make conversation. They're clearly nervous, wanting to make a first impression, but they're nothing if not friendly. Icarus, how are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Icarus is thinking about what to do with these sending stones until you know what? I almost said it. But he's thinking about what to do with them for now. And you said the bonfire was in the forest?
Yes.
I think he's mentally preparing himself to head on out there. I think he's feeling a little apprehensive, a little nervous, but he feels confident.
Aldo, how are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Aldo's so out of his element. But he doesn't want to be here. He needs to be here. So I think he's thinking, there's no real measure to what a good human interaction or good Pokemon interaction looks like. He has a grading rubric for himself that he created, and he thinks he accomplished it. He'll never know for sure.
Walthier, what's on your mind as you make the quiet walk down the stairs?
Right now, Gwen is a whole horrid mess of emotions. On one hand, there is this relief that she has someone on her side in, all of this. But on the other hand, she's now heard from the one person who could have answers that there are no answers. And, that's not something you really want to hear. So, she's very torn up about that, but, she needs to put her best foot forward, with, being an apprentice, meeting these new people, and if not for herself, at least for him.
When you begin approaching the stairs and you find yourself drawn to the bulletin boards right near them, you see normally there would be a lot of mission postings, a lot of faces of criminals. You see a couple of posters for the most wanted in all of Talis, and a couple of wanted posters, or job applications, all that. And your eyes linger on one of the posters, that of a highly detailed drawing of a cerulege. Missing is written in big bold letters at the top. Galahad of the Titans Coven. All information should go to Guildmaster Lennox. 500,000 Poke. You stand there looking at the poster for a little bit. Until, as out of nowhere as it possibly can be. Yo, you turn around and you see Ronnie is sort of lingering at the top of the staircase.
It's like the first time Gwyn is genuinely knocked off guard. Oh, sorry.
Dude, was that
Ronnie.
outside? Sorry.
Rat?
Yes.
Sorry, I was just lost in thought for a moment.
Listen, I just wanted to let you know. That they got the whole bonfire going on here, and that's cool and all. I'm still planning on going to that. I want to check out the premises myself beforehand. So I was wondering if you and your friends wanted to do a little preliminary exploration before you're out there.
Oh, well,
for the place.
Okay, would Gwyn be able to... Is she allowed to do this? Like...
You don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's not against the rules, I don't see why not, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing in the rules that says we can't go out there and just...
Well, fair enough. I mean, I'm
I'm hoping for a little bit of adventure, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, little adventure never killed anyone. Yes, it did. I'm lying through my teeth.
Yeah, well, this one isn't gonna, hopefully. Listen, let's, you go tell everybody else, see who wants to come with anybody. Give it like an hour, meet me outside of the guild from there.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
I was like, burn. Yeah, and she, like that, is gone. And with that,
how does she
we are going to end our first session of PMD&D Echoes of Emergence. Thank you all so much for an amazing first session. Holy shit.
This was so
God,
good.
We're so good at character shit. We're so good at this.
I love playing tragic characters.
Unfortunately, we're all so good at playing awkward, guys. This is going to be a fun thing.
It's so honestly, thank God for fucking Desmond in this party. I mean, I know Lowen's anxious, but at least he's nice. Everyone else is so scared. Everyone is scared. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Gwyn's friendly.
I'm gonna hit stopping the recording.